Hey, I'm your host, Anthony Tank Mansfield, and with you today is
Jaimie Filer.
and
Dan Simonson, but again, you guys know me as Simo.
this is What You Into.
What you into? What you into?
All right, back in the basement. Awesome episode. Jaimie, welcome back again for, is this week 3 for you?
Yes. This I have to do math. Math is not easy for me, but yeah, it's week 3.
And Simo, you're back on the show for third time.
Third time. Not 3 weeks in a row, but third time.
Welcome
third
to
time.
welcome to Dale Earnhardt Club. You've earned your wings today.
Perfect. I love it.
Hell yeah, dude. All right, there's a 3 thing going on. The 3 of us are sitting down and talking.
Yeah. It's a lot of threes.
A lot of 3s. I don't know if I have a 3 to enter into the
The
conversation.
third today.
Is the,
True. It's the third today, and there's only 31 days in the month. Ooh.
guys, it's getting fucking spooky down here.
Terrifying.
All right. Well, this is part of it. This is what we're doing. This is why we're doing this month of episodes with Jaimie. We're talking spooky shit. Simo, you're here today to talk about haunted, creepy, horror proppy shit in front of the house.
Sure, Halloween over the
Decor.
Guess. Yeah,
Decor.
That's where we're
Decor.
at. Yes,
Decor
Halloween
day.
decor. That sounds great.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
let me say this at the jump. I know we're going to get into it. We're not jumping into it yet, but I
Sure.
will say I appreciate your pageantry.
Well, thank you. I try. I really do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
every
Nice.
year,
In this
make it a
basement-
little bit bigger.
Yeah, this basement pageantry is always appreciated, Tank, and we appreciate that you appreciate it.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Pageantry should always be celebrated.
It's such a great thing. I mean, it's something that I like for all events, a lot of events. And this is coming from a man that lives in fucking hoodies and shorts. But when I do see people in a nice performance or with some kind of like cool outfit, I'm there for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Well, listener, before we jump in, let's get plugs out the way. So you know where to find me at Neonano on Instagram. Jaimie, you can find him over on Instagram at Jaimie_Filer, and you can find Simo over there too at Simo_2785. All right, guys. So let's jump in. One of the things that happens in October is on Instagram we get all sorts of like different drawing prompts. There's like there's like Inktober
There's a
and
billion. Yeah, I think arguably it started with Inktober, and then it was like Drawtober, and then Drawloween, and then I don't know. There's like 900 at this point. Like it's like every other second somebody's doing something. Every year for the last like I used to do Inktober, and then it seemed like again everybody got bogged down, and I don't know. The creators didn't like that, and everything else. And like I hate social media. It's just I hate it. So the funny thing is I have a very dry sense of humor, and I don't think people pick up at it at all on social media because that's not how it works. But every year for the last like 3 or 4 years, I do draw spooky shit, and it's just me trying to be a smart ass on Instagram. But again, how many people actually pick it up? But so I draw something every day that's spooky. It doesn't really matter after that. So right now, and normally what I do is I draw like a theme for like 5 or 6 days, and then I switch it. So right now I'm doing the Ronald McDonald universe turning into H.P. Lovecraft doom creatures. So, and I'm trying to write like a little bit, like it's not much, but it's a little bit on each drawing to kind of narrate a story.
are you having fun with it or is it work? Like how
It's
do you
not work,
How do you approach it? You're enjoying it?
Yeah. Again, it's just like this is definitely not work. This is like I limited the 5 or 6 days. So then by the time that 5th or 6th day, I'm kind of just bored with that. And then I move on to something else. Like I already know like the one after this is I've been reading a ton of like manga and especially horror manga, like Japanese comics. And so I'm going to do fan art for the next 5 or 6 days after that of just Japanese, like my favorite manga stuff and kind of talk about it so people can, maybe check that out if that's not something they're familiar with. Everybody in like the world that reads comics is like Junji Ito, that's the main guy, but there's like a billion other really good horror books, so I'm trying to highlight some of those. And then I don't know what I'm doing after that. Who knows?
Nice. Hell yeah, dude. Simo is a collector, man. What's this like for you? Like having a whole month where your feed is just getting hit with content all day, every day of shit that I'm guessing you're into because you're following these people.
Yeah, so I think there's like a good amount of overlap too. And like I said, I think before I met both of you, I followed both of you guys like on social media. I think it's probably how we got connected initially.
It always blows my mind when somebody tells me that they follow me on social media, but I don't know them.
Yeah.
It's weird, and weird in a cool way, but weird in a way where I'm just like, how did you find me? Like,
I'm always just
Right.
like, why?
Yeah, but I think it was like more like the algorithm knows I like Cincinnati stuff. I like the art. Like I think it was maybe you made some glasses or something that came across my feed. I think I bought some of those off of you, and then
Nice.
from there,
Yeah.
But a lot of that, I follow a lot of artists because of all what I collect and all of that, and I think there's definitely some overlap there, and a lot of tattooers especially too are really, I think they're into October. They like the Halloween themes. You get a lot of like tattoo flash coming out right now. I see a lot of shops that are posting, where they've got their flash up. They're doing Halloween tattoos. I was just actually putting some stuff up today. I've got a handful of like flash sheets that are Halloween specific that have come up just for this time of year. So right now it's great because I see tons of stuff. I follow Jaimie over here. I see the stuff he's doing. I think it's really, really cool to see new stuff every day. There's some folks too that are making paintings every day and like selling them, which I think last year there was a guy that tattooer out of Virginia, George Archer, I think, and he was doing a lot of cool like paintings of like his like old horror movie characters that were like kind of in like a cool tattoo style, but every time he posts a cool one, they sell so quick I couldn't get my hands on one. Plus they're originals, they were a little more expensive than I was probably trying to spend. And really in October I'm spending, or leading up to October, I'm usually spending way too much money on Halloween decorations in general. So my feed's filled with all kinds of stuff that I want to buy and that I like a lot, and that a lot of that just like skulls and witches and monsters and ghosts and all that cool stuff. It all translates really well into all that. So it's cool to see different artists doing their different takes on all those different things. And so as a consumer of it or an admirer of it all, it's great. I love it. Like Halloween's just gotten more and more, as much as I think social media definitely kind of don't like it a lot for other reasons. I do like this time of year, there's so much cool stuff that's popping up. And if you're really into like this season, this is a good time to kind of be wasting time looking at a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cool stuff that just comes across your feed at this point. Like Jaimie, and being somebody, not only you're doing it, but then you're seeing your peers that are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you stoked to see, like, I mean, I'm guessing you're stoked. You got to be stoked to see what other people are putting out.
Oh yeah, yeah. It always makes me happy. It makes me happy to see anybody like drawing stuff and everything else. That's like, I mean, I try to. My social media at this point is just Instagram, and I really I try to basically just get fed more art. Artists that are actually making art and things like that, because that's what I want to see. I'm like, I want to stare at art all day long. That's my goal in life. So, no, it definitely is. It's fascinating to see what people do during that time, and especially like now. The thing I think like Instagram is kind of weird because it's like it used to be just a very like straight image. You got that now. People like have to make videos, and I get it. Everybody's fighting the algorithm. And I ain't a player hater on any sense. Like if that is your concern to build up that, I feel like you have to learn how to do all that, videos and whatever they're telling you need to do, you probably need to learn. And I get it, totally get it as a business that you need to do that. But it's kind of cool though to see the people that do understand that, how they can add it into with this stuff too. And I've seen a couple of them, like our friend Tressa, she's doing these like little ghosts. And they're just fucking really cool. But she's doing these videos with them, and she's putting like music. Like you can tell, like she has thoughts of how to make it work, and like it's just dope to see a little video of her making these little ghost drawings.
Well, it's the thing that forever was the argument in art, where you would get into the thing of like, is it process or product? Like, what is the true art? Is it the making of it, or is it the product that results from it? And you can have both now. You can have both very easily if you want it. Where like you can just set up a camera and in 4K record yourself making hand drawn art or whatever you're doing to make art, and then you have that, and then you also have the aftermath of it. It's pretty cool. To be able to do both those things now. I'm with you. It's something I'm trying to like force myself to get into is getting a stand and stuff, because I had one in the past. It was a piece of shit. Like, it's just a thing. It's just an extra step that you got to bring in. And I also, for me, I have to make it portable. I just can't leave it set up, because a lot of times I'm like drawing down here and I'm just like, I fucking hate that I got to deal with this. But this is the thing now. And I can only be old man shaking my fist at the sky for so long, but it's just extra shit I don't want to do.
Yeah. Well, again, I think it's that thing. I feel like at some point you have to decide, as the business as an artist, where you're kind of like, this is where I'm good at. This is what I'm going to do. And again, if I don't get 300 likes to this drawing and I'm only getting 20 because I'm not making a video of it, I have to accept that. That 20 is what it is. But at the same time, that's, I'm okay with that because that's what I did. It's just, And as the world turns, who knows what's appreciated or not. And two, another thing too is I think the videos are cool because they take away the magic of art. And that's one thing that drives me nuts. Like, people talk to you like you're a magician because you can draw. They're like, I wish I had this talent. I wish I did this. And I'm like, you can have that talent if you go and study a lot and read and, eat shit for 20 years and learn how to draw. And I do like the idea that hopefully, and especially like for younger artists and stuff, to be like, oh, well, this person, used their hand and a pencil to draw that picture. And it does take away that magic. But to some degree, I think that's actually a good thing.
I can't believe you're calling this magic right now. Are you gonna start calling fucking pencils wands?
Yes. Harry Potter. I Harry Potter that shit. No, it's just the idea of like, because you know how it is, dude. It's like everybody acts like it's an impossible task, and I just find that funny.
There is like a weird drawing magic thing where it is the thing where people can somehow see something and put it together in a way that other people can't. It's Eamon doing live art, or like Justin, where it's like scribbly scrawly or paint splattering. It's like, the fuck are you gonna do with that? And then something incredible happens, and it's like, oh shit, okay, cool. I did not see that coming. But yeah, it's way fun to watch and to get to see that happen. But okay, but I do get I respect your point of also having something behind the curtain and then being like, look at this thing, look how cool this is. I made this, but you don't know how I made this.
Yeah.
I think this also tracks with you in martial arts. Maybe, are you saying that ninjas would not give up their trade secrets?
Maybe to a bit degree, yeah.
I'm going to put those words in your mouth. All right, let's get into
You'll never know how they make those smoke bombs. Ever.
That's actually a good point.
It's true.
They
just throw them, and they're gone.
You're right. That's magic.
Yeah. I did give up a ninja magic the other day. So this kid at my job was asking me how to throw a ninja star. Because he's like, well, if you threw it in the face... this kid's a special kid. I love him to death, but he's a moron.
What part of the face is just anywhere on the face?
Yeah,
He's going for eyes? What's he going
and
for?
I was just like, well, traditionally ninjas would throw a ninja star. They wouldn't stab into you because you could pull them out and use them as a weapon yourself. They were meant to graze you, and usually they would poison them with certain poisons and just poison you. Like, they're supposed to be grazed across and just keep going.
Kind of like a blow dart with poison on it idea, right?
Yeah. You're supposed to get infected with something. Yeah, they would have stars with dung on them and things like that, which sounds horrible, especially in feudal Japan.
But that makes sense because that's something we saw in Vietnam with punji sticks, where people wiping shit on sticks and you fall and one gets to your leg, now you're fucked.
Yeah, but you're not actually supposed to have them stuck even in your face because you might pull it out and throw it back at the ninja. So
damn, how hard would you be if you got fucking ninja starred and your first reaction was to send it back to Satan?
You gotta think though, ninjas are taking out samurai.
That's true.
If there's one person who's hard enough to be like,
these are hard men. I'm
gonna pull this out of my face and throw it at you and write a poem about it later today. It'd be a samurai.
They're the tier 1 operators of their time.
Hardcore.
This is funny. This came up. I fell down a weird rabbit hole on YouTube where I'm watching a guy who is riffing on old episodes of Deadliest Warrior on Spike TV. Do you guys remember Deadliest Warrior?
Fuck yeah.
I don't know if I know that one.
Oh, Deadliest Warrior was so great.
Dude, it was so good. What if a Centaurian would fight a Navy SEAL?
Oh, now I know what you're talking about. Right, like hypothetical.
Yeah.
Now I know what you're talking about.
We pitted a knight against a pirate. It's all
right. They used to do one similar to that on Animal Planet or something, where they would be
different animals.
Like if an alligator battled a great white shark, he would win.
What had happened?
Yeah, Beast Wars or something like that. Okay,
man, that was the golden age before we just gave up cable TV for fucking the internet. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know why we left it behind, guys. Looking back on it now,
that's what it made. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So but that was one of the recent episodes. Was it was a ninja versus a Spartan.
Yeah, but see, I still remember this. This is my problem. Spartan what?
Spartan. Okay.
This is where the problem with this is, though. All right. The ninja gets on top of a tree. He's going to take out Spartan, and he's like, ah! He does the Bruce Lee scream before he comes down. Ninja is not going to scream. You're not going to know that ninja's there until you're dead.
That's their thing, right? They're quiet.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. The actually first recorded ninja was supposed to kill this prime minister of some part of Japan or whatever, but he had guards with him at all times. So he dressed as a woman, knew the dude was just uber horny and always trying to hook up with hookers. So he dressed as a courtesan and got back with this guy in the back room for some loving time. This road pulled out a knife, stabbed a guy in the heart, and then jumped through a window. That's their first recorded assassination by a ninja.
Damn.
Yeah, that's hard.
It is hard. Great acting skills by the ninja too.
I know, right? Like,
Also, just good research there, and also committing to the
they're like,
character.
this guy's, what we can tell about him? He's horny. Got it. All right.
Got
That's
it. I know what to do.
I know how to bat those eyes. So.
Exactly.
All right, let's get to the main part of the episode. Jesus Christ, Jaimie.
Yeah, rabbit holes are always a good time.
So no information in this brain that can like make me $1, but that.
But that you can, that's. It should make you some money.
I can
You
see
know
a world
what?
where maybe that's a trivia question that you win
Yeah.
some sort of trivia
No.
contest based off of that. Who knows?
Fuck that. Heart doctor's dentist Jaimie. That's where I want to see him on the pay scale. Let's get this man some bread.
I'll put him above dentist because I'm not a huge fan.
Hell
Nothing
yeah.
personal. I just don't like going. It's not.
What if a ninja was dressed as a dentist and then assassinated somebody?
That's now we're just
No, that's just torture.
that's
Yeah.
not good.
Not good.
A ninja in a dentist office, they'd fuck you up. They get that drill out.
That's actually a
Get you in-
horror movie
get you in
waiting to
that chair.
happen. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
bad.
Deaf Ninja,
Yeah.
Zombie Ninja, which is a real movie. I've watched it.
Oh.
It's not bad.
Dr. Ninja, MD.
Oh my god!
DDS?
DDS. Dr. Ninja, DDS.
I love it.
I think we just got a movie idea, fellas.
All right, guys, cool. Well, get ready to be millionaires.
Also, might be a good Halloween costume. Like dentist,
Not a bad idea.
Dentist ninja.
No.
Ninja dentist.
Yeah, no. Start spreading around. Let people know.
Yeah.
Give us 2 years. We'll be at Cannes. Yeah. So, all right, man. Let's get into the main part of the episode. Let's talk about fucking haunted house horror yard extravaganza 2023. Okay, let's get in the time machine. Let's go back.
Sure.
Was this something you were attracted to as a child, or is this something you discovered later in life?
Yeah, I was thinking about this because I figured that's kind of what we would talk about a bit. And I think that I've liked Halloween, like always, right? Like I think as a kid, even like, Christmas, obviously you get presents and all of that stuff, right? But I always like Halloween had something that I just dug. I don't know if it's the season too, it's like the fall is like my favorite weather. The idea of getting to dress up, you get to go out with all your buddies. Like, that was like the one time a year where my parents kind of let me have free reign of the neighborhood at a fairly young age. I had an older brother, so I was allowed to go out with like him and the other neighborhood guys when I was like 8. So like it was pretty, from that point on. And you would just get to different houses and we would decorate, but never like over the top, like scary or anything. My parents were more into like, I don't know if you would call it like fall country kind of like it was like, like a cute like fucking scarecrow with like a hay bale and some fucking pumpkins and stuff. So like they would decorate, but it definitely wasn't on the level of like stuff I like. But neighbors in the area, some people would do more extravagant displays, things like that. I also grew up camping as a kid and it's pretty popular now. It's like a Halloween campout is what it's called, right? But when I was a kid, there's only one place where you could do it around here. East Fork would have it one weekend a year. Now I think a lot of the campgrounds do it like all month of October.
Cool.
But we always did that. And that was like one of the coolest things. Like we'd take off like a day of school. We'd go on a Thursday. We'd get to, do that. But people would decorate their Halloween or their campsites.
Yeah.
And they'd make like, not everybody, but there'd always be like one or two where they'd make like 2 or 3 lots together that were all together. They'd make like a haunted house or something like that.
Oh,
and so, just going around and doing that kind of stuff, right? And just seeing it growing up and kind of always really liking Halloween and just the decorations, the spooky stuff. I wasn't really allowed to watch scary movies until I got older, so I think that was part of it too. Is like not allowed to see it, so I was really attracted to it. And
You were soaking it up in the moment.
So yeah, so always
could
really
see it.
liked it. And then I think go ahead.
So I want to hear a couple things here.
No,
So
you're good.
number one, so Jaimie, you kind of popped over there for like the haunted campground thing.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. That
I
sounds
never
awesome.
ran into
Oh,
that.
it was the coolest, dude.
I
Yeah, that
never,
sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I
it was
never
rad.
ran into that before until like last year. Our friends that watched Jet, George and Carla, they went to one of his friends does this up in Michigan where like they do this. They have like this huge campground thing and they build like a whole set and there's like a bar and stuff inside.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, they have like actors and stuff like because it's like a whole thing to get set up. It's super cool.
And I haven't been since the mid '90s. It's been years since we've gone. But it's at the state park. You ever been to East Fork State Park, like where they have the lake and everything? It's just out east off 32, probably on the way to OU. Athens. It's not too far from here. It's only probably an hour. But
Okay.
the whole campground, again, like you're in your individual campsites, so people decorate. But then the state park itself has an amphitheater, so they always were playing like Friday night there'd be a movie playing,
Oh,
right?
cool. Oh,
And
that's
then
cool.
they did. I think they had like a haunted trail that they made themselves. That was more of like that one was a little bit more intense for me when I was a kid. It kind of was. I don't think I went through that, but like they had like a real deal haunted trail that you could go through. They always had activities and stuff, and then the individual campsites, and then you trick or treat on Saturday night.
Nice.
So I would get to go trick or treating twice as a kid too.
It's even better.
Dude, this
So-
place fucking rules.
This is
Yeah,
wins.
it was the coolest.
Yeah.
And like
Sign
camping
me
in,
up.
Camping in the fall, way better than camping in the
Yeah.
summer because the weather.
Yeah,
is
it's
a lot
not dog
obviously.
shit. You can
Bugs
put
Like
are
a
radio
lot
fine,
on.
better.
that's
It
bad.
snowed one year, which was kind of not that rad, but we camped in like a trailer, so like it was not,
Okay,
we
cool.
weren't sleeping on the ground at least. But weather's just way better for it, and it's just fall's just But yeah, the Halloween camp out now. Like I said, East Fork has it every weekend in October, and then I think there's a handful of other places around here. It's pretty popular these days, which it makes sense. I grew up camping and it was okay, but I did it so much I kind of got burnt out on it. But that was the thing I always like really enjoyed was Halloween camp out was the cool one.
Nice.
For sure.
Jaimie, what about you, man? Were you like a Halloween kid?
Oh yeah, yeah. I just always loved that. I'm born on October 19th, so I'm like 13 days from Halloween anyway. So it was like my birthday's in the month, the holiday, and obviously Halloween itself, and then like my dad is just like a super nerd into sci-fi and horror, so like he was always like hyped during that month. And when I was growing up, like I'm pretty much just hung out with him all the time, so I felt like it was just always like imprinted on me to love that month.
Was your dad into sci-fi and horror as a kid, or was it something that he discovered like in his 20s and 30s?
He always loved it, to my
Really?
knowledge.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. He was like a monster kid growing up. Like he watched all the Universal stuff, and that's like
that
when
tracks.
I was when I was like super young. That's like I had to watch all that. Yeah, that's why I always give grief to my niece. Loves horror movies now, and she's 13. And I give her shit all the time because I'm like, you need to go back and watch every black and white movie there ever was, just to say you saw them all. Because I'm like, my ass had to watch all of them before I could watch anything else. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just grew up in that and just loved that season. And my same thing. Like I had cousins around the same age, and like we'd all get together for Halloween, go out to the burbs, and we that's what we do is we go to like the rich neighborhoods and just like because they're getting like full candy bars and
Right.
these
Stock
giant
up.
Kit Kat bars like the one I just devoured of Tanks, but just take all that stuff, and then we would come back to our neighborhoods and just like whatever we could scrap to get back to the house, and just eat the shit out of that stuff for 3 days and get sick. So
Yep. Well, and that's why I grew up over in Delhi, so on the west side.
Yeah.
And I lived like in the neighborhood that if you drove into my neighborhood before MapQuest, like people get lost all the time because it's cul-de-sacs. Like,
Sure, yeah.
The main road has 15 cul-de-sacs, so you could. And I'm almost positive. I don't know if we can check this somewhere, but when we were kids, I swear you got 3 hours to trick or treat. Now it's 2, but I think
I
we
think
had
it
the
was 3. Yeah,
because we were out there forever, and
Yeah.
3 hours on foot when you're a kid and you got that energy and all you're doing
you're
is
just
just
huffing.
everybody handed out candy. You could cover a ton of houses in the neighborhood.
yeah.
and just
I mean, that was the goal. It was like
Yeah, it was
as
how
much
far-
I could stay. And I mean, it was like immediately because I think it was like what 6, maybe 6,
I was
7,
like 6 to
maybe.
9 or something like
Yeah,
that.
and I
probably,
just remember it being like on that dot. My ass was like with my 2 cousins, like getting down, to
Yep.
wherever we were going to get candy.
Who's cutting the time here? Like, do we need?
I don't know when it
do we-
happened,
Do
but
we need to
I
go talk
swear.
to the mayor or something? Do we need?
It is kind of weird that they cut it shorter.
I mean,
these poor kids
fuck
nowadays.
It. Let
It's
them,
like
let them go, man. Like,
they're like they're terrified to be out in the dark. I'm like, well, give
Dude,
them the neon.
I love handing out candy. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I got to plan a costume better because I always never know what to go. Like I never plan it, and then Lauren's like, I'm gonna dress up as something the day of, and of course, I'm like, oh fuck, okay, now I got to dress up too. So like sometimes I would put on. Like I got these knockoff pit vipers. I put those on and wear like my jujitsu gi and go as like mall karate man.
Hell yeah.
Like I feel like that's a solid move. And I also always have luchador mask if need be. I can grab those.
It's good things to have around.
Yeah, but this year we got like this new, like one of those metal campfire things you can like put in your driveway. So we're gonna light that thing up, and then you just like sit around, you drink beers, you hand out candy, you see
the
kids,
Best. It's the best.
you say hey to everybody. Everybody's got cool costumes,
Right. It's the coolest.
and everybody is cool during Halloween trick or treat. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that's the thing where sometimes like there's some people that have like expectations where like all children should say thank you or something, but like you don't know if like the child that you're interacting with is like autistic or has Asperger's or they're just having a bad day, man. Like, but they're not like the majority of it. Like most kids are stoked too, and everybody's stoked, and the parents are excited to be out
Yeah.
with them. Like it's a fun time. It's a cool thing to be a part of, or like you get to like be part of your community.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
No, yeah. And especially if it's like a nice weather night, dude, and it's just like you said, everybody's just in a good mood. They got the wagons, parents are
Yeah.
drinking beers. It's a good time.
It's way fun.
It's just, it's the best.
People
Halloween rules.
People are blasting their like whatever their Halloween soundtrack is.
Yeah, their Halloween mixtape.
Yeah.
Thriller.
So many
A lot of
thrillers.
that.
So many.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, which is funny because when you start doing Trick or Treat, you figure out the soundtrack is kind of like you could remember like when you had to do the ACT and it was like such and such is to the as blah 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 is to the
analogies, yep.
yeah. Thank you. And then you could totally do this with like fucking St. Patrick's Day and Halloween. Like there's shit that you will hear this maybe a few times during the year, but like you will always hear the Pogues, you will always hear Dropkick Murphys, you will always hear Flogging
Those I
Molly
was thinking of, yeah.
on fucking on
St. Patty's.
St. Patty's.
Yep.
Jump Around. Dude,
Yes, oh my
House of
God.
Pain, they make their entire fortune in 1 month off Spotify for the year because Jump Around gets played in every fucking bar in America on one day, multiple times a day in every bar.
Sure.
Yeah.
Dude, what are you...
Absolutely.
You only have so many songs, and I mean, especially at a bar, you're like, well, as you're getting drunk, you forget that you heard it before.
Yes.
Well, I think it's one of those ones that if it's St. Patty's Day and you're St. Patty's Day drunk, you're never going to get mad about hearing Jump
Nah.
Around.
No,
True.
you're going to jump around.
You're going to
You're gonna
jump.
jump around.
You
a
should
lot.
jump around on the hour.
Yeah.
It's 2 o'clock, and you know what that means.
Probably a good way to make sure you don't have people like passing out at your bar too.
Yeah,
Oh.
get people going.
Like, yeah, got to keep the blood flowing. Got to keep them moving.
Gotta go, guys. Keep it moving.
Yeah,
Keep it moving.
exactly.
Keep your face off the bar. You can't sleep. Jump arounds on.
No, you can't sleep at the bar. Huh?
No.
Well, and I also think it's one of those things too where you probably also get it in shifts. So it's like,
Oh.
there's people that came out for the kegs and eggs that started at 5,
And then
but they're
they're
done by
knocking off
10.
at- yeah, they're knocking
You
off at
know,
lunchtime.
you roll in at noon. You haven't heard Jump
I
Around
haven't
yet.
jump around yet today.
12:30 rolls up. Bum, 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 bum.
Thanks. I'm gonna have that stuck in my head for the rest of this podcast.
I'm gonna listen to it on the way home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be listening to Jump Around.
Hell yeah.
whole
Why
way
wouldn't
home.
you? So yeah, there is that with Halloween too, where like you also get that with like you're always gonna hear Thriller. You'll hear stuff from
I always just hear people playing like the Halloween theme song too.
Yeah.
That's always playing, which is great. I love that.
the Munsters. You're gonna hear the Munsters.
Yeah. It's true.
Right? With Monster Mash.
You
That's a
did the
big one. Yep.
mash.
You hear that one all the time.
If you're cool, you fucking put Screaming Jay Hawkins on your mix.
I don't know if
not
I know
good.
that. I'll have to check that out.
Put a spell on you.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
Oh, that. Yeah. That song's great. I didn't know the name. Is that who sings that?
Yeah, Screaming Jay
Didn't know-
Hawkins.
didn't know that.
I think he's originally from Cleveland or Detroit or something. I think he's somewhere Midwest.
Yeah, I just recently watched a movie called Mystery Train, and it is a Jim Jarmusch movie, but and it's like an art house film. It's just not a horror, scary movie at all. But odd enough, he's in it as a hotel clerk.
The guy that sings that song?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Huh,
And he's
that's
just wearing a red suit and being like a normal human. He is a very apparently the legend is that they were, I can't think of what, yeah, it was that movie. They were filming it and it was raining during a day where they needed like, the film outside because it was in Detroit. And I think it was, or no, Memphis, excuse me. And that's where he lived at that time. And Jim Jarmusch is like, yeah, we got to get the scene filmed. I don't know what to do or whatever. And he's like, do you want me to do a magic spell? And it'll make the rain stop. And they're like, all right, yeah, sure thing, Screaming Jay Hawkins. You're crazy. And he took chicken bones, did a little bit of dance or something in the outside. And like 20 minutes later, or 10 minutes later, apparently the rain stopped. So Screaming Jay Hawkins, voodoo.
Also, I just young Jaimie myself, and I was correct. Screaming Jay Hawkins is from Cleveland, Ohio.
Is it Cleveland?
He's an Ohio guy. Okay, fantastic.
Nice Screaming Jay.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a great gimmick that dude had
Dude,
too.
so cool looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
He like kind of dressed
see
like a
what he looks
voodoo guy.
I'm
Like,
thinking-
yeah, he
yeah,
was
that's what
like,
it sounds like when you
he was
listen to the song.
Yeah,
It's got
yeah,
that-
yeah.
yeah.
He's very original. He was a very original character.
like a black dude that was kind of goth, like a vampire dude that had a
Okay.
bone in his nose.
Yeah,
and-
he was like the original Ghost.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He was very much Ghost. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like very much like I'm really good at what like I'm really good at singing, but on top of that, here's this insane stage show, and oh by the way, it's like what the 50s or 60s.
Oh, I think it was 60s. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you're right. Yes.
So people are just
People
like, what the
probably
fuck
like,
is
what's
Yeah.
this?
Also,
happening
like
right
white
now?
America is probably flipping their
Yeah.
shit. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell is happening here?
What is happening? Why is this happening? Oh
And
my
again,
god!
it was like the great thing of like it's the wrestler gimmick. Like he understood he had a gimmick to work there. That was
And
great.
he lived the gimmick,
Yeah,
brother.
lived the gimmick. Did
100%.
weird spells with chicken
Chicken
bones.
bones. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This like again, it's like
Magic.
art magic.
We're
Yeah.
back to magic. I was just thinking that.
Magic and shitty ninja stars.
Very much so. I love Halloween as a kid, man. It was Imagination Day. It was
Yeah.
like, hey, what do you want to be? And it was
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. I get to pick it, And it wasn't the thing where like, as a kid, like my mom dressed me for stuff, but it was like this one day of the year where it was like, well, what do you want to do? But then there was rules. My mom was like, you can't be a devil.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. My mom
was a
has
devil
like
once.
my mom has like My mom's not like super religious, but she has like these weird boundaries.
Gotcha.
I think it's because we were brought up Presbyterian. Where like Presbyterian is not hardcore like Christian, but it's still Christian.
Sure.
And there's just like some non-starters for her. So my mom was very weird about me playing D&D.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
I was like,
I was not allowed to play D&D. Very worried about metal. And then of course by like the time I was old enough to like start buying music, like grunge had happened. And so it was like, oh, they're not really saying anything at church about people wearing flannel shirts. And it's like, all right, cool. And that was kind of an easier.
They're cool with that.
But yeah, it's
no devil.
Yeah, it's like oh, Motley Crue. That's what's going on there.
What was your outfit to go to outfit, Tank?
When I was
devil.
I was a kid, multiple times when it was Rambo,
Rambo?
because I fucking love America.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it gave me an excuse to have a gun.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
love
Hey.
America. You guys know how much patriot I am. And so even at a young age, I was like 2A all day.
Yeah.
So here I was walking around with like a red headband, which also this is insane because this was like the time when I'm like 5 or 6, where like somehow in the 80s I've been exposed to Rambo, which is wild to me. Like, could you imagine?
There was a cartoon.
Like, could you imagine?
Was there?
Could you?
Okay.
Like, is that like that doesn't happen today? Where like you're like no 6-year-olds come up on your porch like, oh, sick, you're John Wick. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, but I will say on the flip side of that, I think we talked about this. I work with kids too, and like a lot of younger kids have seen a lot of like pretty heavy duty horror movies that I'm sometimes like, you've seen. How old are you? And I had a little one tell me once. This was years ago, but they were like, my favorite TV show is Walking Dead. And this is like an 8-year-old, and I was like, okay, cool. Like it's a little intense for a child, but I guess to each his own. I mean,
It is really wild. Like I go to a lot of horror conventions, and there's always some like kid who's probably in that like 5 to 8. They're kind of in that. They're just small human of that age demographic, but they're dressed as it.
I was about to say it's
Pennywise, yeah.
Yep,
And I'm always just like,
I see that a ton.
fascinated because I'm like, who the fuck is letting you watch that movie?
Yeah.
And they're the modern, maybe like the
modern,
TV show. I'm like, that would still spook me out as an 8-year-old, but I could kind of see that. The new ones, I'm like, nah, you should. That's pretty hardcore for that. But they're dressed like, and they look, and that's the thing. As children dress like it, they're even creepier. And I'm like, that would scare me in an alley.
Yeah, it does. There is like a weird thing with that where it does. I don't know, man. There is like a weird line between indoctrination and like something you do as a family, because this is like the same thing you could level against religion, where it's like, oh, my kid's just been brought up in this. Like kids that get brought up in horror movies.
So it's like parents.
It's just it's like kind of a similar track where it's like, oh, this is just all I know, and this is just normalized to me at this point.
The only thing I do wonder is like kind of the idea that if you're watching it, and I watched like Nightmare on Elm Street, I think at 9. Like I was very young and I was kind of scared of it, but my dad was just like, "Oh, it's all special effects, it's fake," And like as soon as Freddy stretched his arms out, he's like, "See, they got like this weird wire in there, blah blah blah," and explain it. As soon as that happened, I had a disconnect to all horror films. To this day, like I can't watch something and think it's real. Like I'm trying to break down that. So I can see maybe kids seeing it at that age and growing up in it and it being like, it's just a movie. And it's compared to like, I've met people that never watched horror films as kids and they're terrified. My wife will not watch a horror film because in her brain has made it far scarier than any horror film's actually going to be. Like, and I can see both ways being that. So I get kind of both ways.
Yeah, it's interesting, like what people's tolerance for like horror movies and fear are, because there's some stuff I don't want to watch, and there's also like some things I don't want to experience. Like I remember being a kid and going to a haunted house once and just getting the shit scared out of me, where I was really young and then I got lost and I was separated from my friend, and then there's like people like jumping out and yelling and screaming at me and it's dark and I'm just like, I don't ever want to do this again. Even as an adult, I'm like, I don't like this idea of like this happening. But I love horror movies. Like I love monsters. I love special effects. I love watching the fucking Hatch movies and watching Victor Crawley like put somebody's fucking face through an outboard motor on a boat and it's spraying all over the place like a weird blood geyser. I love that. But like the idea of like me going out to like a haunted house, like some guy being like, ugh! I'm like, fuck this. Like, I don't like this at all. This is bullshit.
See, I had it when I was little with my parents. I think we went to a haunted house similar and I got freaked out as a little kid and then didn't do them for years. And then like junior high hit. And there was like a Friday night where that's what my buddies were doing. So it was either like I stay home and don't do anything or I go to the haunted house.
Dude, you're going to be a pussy, you're going to be cool.
Right. And so I went and it turned out I had actually ended up enjoying it. And so I had a nice little run there through junior high and like early high school of going to a lot of haunted houses again and really enjoying them. And then I met my wife in high school. And so we met like when we were like 15 and she hates that shit. So I have not been to a haunted house pretty much since I was 15, 16 years old because she's not into that and I'm not going to go by myself. I did go once when my niece, who is now 20, turned 9. She wanted to go to a haunted house. And I told her parents, I was like, sure, I'll take her for her birthday's in October.
Sure.
And I hadn't been to one in forever, so I took her to the Dent Schoolhouse over on the west side because I remember that one as a kid. And we got there, and the whole time we were in line, it took me a while. I was like, there's not any other like younger kids here. Like she's the youngest kid here by far. Like, and I was like, this is a lot more intense than I remember it being too. And she was a trooper though, and she went through the whole damn thing. Like, didn't flinch. At the time, I was actually it was just the two of us, so they attached us with like a group, you know, because they want you to go through in like bigger groups. So we had like a group of like teenagers with us, and they were all freaking out, and she just rolled through it. And I told her the whole time, like, you know, you can leave whenever you want, you know, blah blah. And she, no issues at all. Like, didn't jump. Like, she was just like stone faced, went through the whole thing. I don't think she's been to one since, but she was a champ. So that's the last one I went to, which was probably over a decade ago.
She's like, I watch cartel execution videos on the internet. Like, like, you think this is going to be a problem?
Right, exactly.
I've seen a man get his head dunked in a barrel of gasoline and then lit on fire. Like,
I've seen some terrifying TikToks, and I don't care about this.
Yeah. So the only thing we had even close was like the faces of death thing, right? And that was like most people you knew just had heard about it. You didn't even have access to it. These kids now are just like, YouTube's got everything.
I could find something fucking scary and weird.
But yeah.
Did you guys ever have anybody in the neighborhood that had like a haunted house that you could go into? Because I remember when I was a kid, it was this woman that I knew that growing up, she was like, I forget, she was like somehow like a social worker type thing or something. And looking back on it, she was great because I was a smart ass kid and she gave me a bunch of shit and made fun of me, which was pretty good. I remember there was like, we were watching something, I think they had us watch Labyrinth, and I made fun of David Bowie's dick in the movie, and then somehow we started talking about impotence at some point, and then I was like, oh, the E word, and then she just like started dying laughing because I'm just like a dumb kid that can't spell. But she had a son that was like a year younger than me in school, and for Halloween one year, she like him and her like transformed their whole house into like a haunted house. And they did like a haunted house tour.
Like like into the house, like going up and
down. Yeah,
okay,
like the entire house.
That's dedication.
I've never seen that.
Yeah. So people like, you know, you went through into like her like in her front, like in the back door, went into like the living room with the kitchen. Like she had like made stuff in every room. You went upstairs to like
They do that on Halloween. Like everybody that came by went through the house.
Yeah, went through the house.
Okay.
And then she had, I forget, like if I was one of the, I forget if I went through or if I was the people that was like helping her. I think I might have been one of the people that was helping her. Like I had to go through at least once, but I was like direct people at the door or something like that. Or maybe I went through and there's people directed. I forget how it worked, but I distinctly remember doing this where this woman like just transformed her house into a haunted house for Halloween.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've never seen that level of it. I know. Like I said, the closest thing I was done, I would camp. Like some of the people would make like the campsites kind of into more, and it would be a lot of like, you know, they'd hang like just a bunch of sheets and kind of create little rooms that you could kind of walk through like a little maze almost situation. But I remember there was somebody in the neighborhood that would do the thing. You know what I'm talking about when you were a kid, where you'd walk up and they have the candy bowl sitting on something that looks like it's like a dummy, but there's really like a person in there, and they like fuck with you. Like that was always the one that like, you know, I remember is like you'd walk up and you'd be like. Even when you knew somebody was in there, it would still scare the shit out of you, right?
Yeah.
Like they move at the last minute, and then you're like, yeah, right, yeah, that was it. And then but not in the neighborhood with a full blown haunted house. A lot of people with maybe decorations and lots of things, but whole blown. Just letting everybody in your house. That'd be really cool. Maybe I need to do that. That's the next step.
I don't know, man. In 2023, I don't know if it's a good idea if you just start letting people
Probably
shamble through your house.
Yeah.
I did do that back in the spring, just randomly. There was a house tour in our neighborhood. So we did have about 500 people come through our house last April. They did like a historic home tour of our neighborhood, and we were on that. So I have done that recently.
You know what?
I let a bunch of people go through my house.
Maybe next time you do a haunted house through the house tour.
And I would tell you, that was interesting, and most people were cool. Nothing bad happened. But people definitely would just like open your closets up and shit. Like we didn't really realize it. And that wasn't the norm. Like most people just come through and look at everything's out. But like I was in a room, they had people all over. And my wife was in like our living room. She's like, yeah, people definitely just were like open up a closet and be like, what's it? I'm like, yeah, you don't want, like we have a lot of shit in there. Like we're hiding stuff in the closet, so it's not all out in the house right now. But yeah, people are really they'll just open up your stuff and just check it out. They're not worried about it.
Jaimie, if people started opening up cabinets in your house, how much pornography would they find?
I mean, they don't have to do that. They just look at the walls.
That's true.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, I have the
Just leave it all out for
well, I have a 1977's classic Chopsticks poster hanging up in our bedroom, framed. Very, yeah. I wrote a report about that on Rob's videos. It sits in our bedroom. And we have Playboy centerfolds in there. One of our friends came and stayed at the house, and I just remember he came in to talk to me and Allison for a minute because he was standing in one of the guest rooms and walked in for a second, and he just like stared at the wall like blankly, and he was like, "There's like naked ladies on your wall." We're like, "Yep,
Yeah.
sure is." He's like,
Look,
"Oh, okay." Like,
what that
it's like
is.
we're like, yeah, it's like they're not through the whole house, but you know.
listener, if you have the privilege of going to Jaimie and Allison's house, you're going to see some bush. That's just the way it is. You're going to see some furry ladies.
1970s Playboy centerfolds hanging up, yeah, with weird paintings on them. It's fine.
You're going to see some beavers that are ready for the winter. But that's just part of the charm and the elegance of going over to Jaimie and Allison's place.
It's the decor, you know.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's art, people. Art.
What, Jaimie? What about you, man? Like with your dad and like Halloween
Yeah.
stuff. I know like he's made props and
Well,
stuff.
he made haunted houses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the street we grew up on, like that was the thing. We would go out and get candy, but no one came on that street. Like it was a dead end street, not the best of places, and just nobody ever came on the street. And I always felt bad because my dad again loved that holiday, and my mom does too. They both parents love that holiday and everything, and just they love like giving to kids like candy and things. They were real big into that, and nobody would ever come. So when they moved to the burbs, all of a sudden they would get like a couple hundred kids stopping at their house. And my dad started like decorating the front yard and got really into that. And my dad and my art skills and that come from him. Like immediately, like, born and raised, like he's always done stuff. So at some point around 2010, maybe 11, until about 2016, they had a 2-car garage, and he just started to take 2 months before that and transform it into like a walk around a haunted house. And it was batshit nuts. Like at first it was kind of like, oh, this, you know, he'll just make a room. And next thing you know, like he was like constructing things and like bought wood, and it just became ridiculous. And as he aged, he just got, you know, to a point where he was just kind of like, I'm getting old. I don't want to fuck with this anymore. But, but until then, but yeah, it was incredible. I mean, it was just absolute incredible. I think still there's somewhere on YouTube like a walkthrough of it. I'll have to see if it is.
that'd be cool.
Nice.
If
you
you find that, send it my way. That'd be awesome to see.
Yeah, but it was really fun. He would get a lot of the neighborhood kids and stuff, like older kids that were kind of out of trick or treating, but still wanted to do something for the holiday. And he's like one of those people that like all the neighbors like wanted to hang out with. He's very talkative and funny dude. So the kids would come over and like he'd be like, all right, well, you're gonna be like chainsaw guy, and you're gonna chase this kid, and you're gonna be covered in blood, and then whoever he could get and talk into being somebody. And of course, like by that point, I would just show up and be some weirdo in a mask somewhere in it. But yeah, it was a blast. It was so much fun. Yeah. Yeah, it was always weird though, because it's like trying to explain to people like why there's a bunch of like creepy dead baby monsters. That's the thing. He would go a little too far with that shit and be
Gotcha.
like, I got 4 baby dolls and I gored them out and had their eyes pulled out. And I'm like, yeah, there's like 9-year-olds walking through this. Maybe not.
Hey, it's it's art.
It's art. It's art. You know,
yeah.
70s bush and, you know, baby doll eyes out
Some
everywhere.
bored
So.
out babies. I like it.
Have you guys ever heard of McCamey Manor?
I was literally just thinking of this as we were talking. I know what you're talking
I'm
about.
not
I've seen
familiar.
that. That shit's that's a hard no. That shit's insane. I don't know how it's actually legal. That
What
shit's
is
nuts.
McCaney Manor?
Yeah, so McCamey Manor is like this weird thing where this guy, man, how do you describe it? It's like a haunted house meets like a BDSM torture
If you,
thing.
like look at it, he advertises it as like the most intense haunted house in the world.
Okay.
And basically, I believe if I'm still correct on this, because I've looked into this years ago, because I was like kind of when I first found out about it, I was like, holy shit, this is fucking insane. I think it's free to go through still, right? You just have to make a donation to like a pet rescue place. Like if you bring like a can of dog food, the dude lets, and it's his own house. Basically, you come and you sign all kinds of waivers that say you won't sue for all the crazy shit the dude's gonna do to you. And basically, when I see they tie you up, they're allowed to touch you. They like will keep you there for hours. Like you don't really know how long you're gonna be there. Like it's hard to describe without watching it, but basically it looks like torture. Like it looks like absolute torture.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Again, people being like gagged and bound and sprayed with, and they've got people like again in your face, like touching you, like pretty close to what I could almost see as like assault or like maybe even like what's it called, like kidnapping, or like if you're just being held against your will. Like it's insane. That one I know what you're talking about. Is it still around? Because he moved he was in California, and it was in like the crazy part is if you really looked into it, it's in like a fucking suburb. Like his just house is here, and like his neighbors are just living their lives, and he's got like chainsaws and people screaming and shit. And that's like on a Tuesday, right? And I think they got tired of him, and he got kind of run out of where he was, and then I think he landed down in Tennessee somewhere.
You are absolutely correct, sir. He now resides in Tennessee because Tennessee loves freedom.
But
yeah,
I know
that's
too,
true.
like,
I thought
I
just
some issues there too, right?
I was assuming Texas at first, but Tennessee too. I mean,
but everywhere the guy goes, basically people get. I think the cops have had to be called multiple times because people think he's literally like kidnapping folks. Like he'll bring somebody out of his house with like a bag over their head and they're like tied
fuck
up
that.
and shit.
No,
yeah,
I'm good.
Like it's just go watch. Just check it out and see. It's insane.
I'm all about them giving cans of dog food and helping out an animal shelter.
But I really think it used to be. That like it wasn't even you didn't even pay for it.
Oh yeah, there ain't no fucking way.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I love the hot potato of freedom this is, where it's like, nah, man, come to California where you can be who you want. Like go on your own journey. And it's like I'm gonna start a torture house. And it's like you need to get the fuck out of here. And so then like you get like punted over to Tennessee, and it's like. Goddamn right, it's America. You can do what you want, whatever you want to eat. You know, as long as you get up in the morning, salute the flag, and believe in Jesus, like you can do what you want to do. It's like, call me my torture house here. It's like, all right, man, we got. Oh, damn, this is weird. Like, yeah. So that is the question. Like, where does this guy punt? Like, does he get punted to Texas next? Or does he have to go to the extreme of like Alaska? Or like Alaska is just like
he's like in Tijuana.
Fuck it. Like, you know, if you want to like put something out in the middle of nowhere and have a cabin, like, we're not gonna fuck with you.
Well, and if you see the dude and listen to him talk, I don't have confidence that he's not going to eventually just abduct somebody. Like he comes off as
looks like that guy.
That's at least my interpretation. Like that's my read of the guy. Is he doesn't look like somebody that I would trust. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's
I've always heard Tijuana's a real big party town. I feel like a weird, like, kind of pseudo horror thing would be cool.
Yeah, no, yeah.
The Marines like going down there and partying. Maybe that's like they could use it for training.
It's like when they did. It's like when they did that sequel to Hostel when it was in Vegas. Like it's that.
There we go.
Hostel in Vegas.
I think so. It's either Vegas or Reno. It's one of the it's one of the gambling cities.
I have to watch that one.
I don't know. That all totally sounds horrible to me.
Hostile in Atlantic City.
Can't even. It's nuts. It's
No, I'm good.
So, and the other thing is too is like if you survive, like if you beat the challenge is you gotta endure this for 10 straight hours.
10 straight hours?
Yeah, it's like it's an extended thing.
It's a fucking day.
I feel like he tells you can tap out, but I feel like people try to tap out and they don't let them.
Well, and if you make the 10 straight hours, you get $20,000, and so far nobody has won this.
Ever done
like
it, right?
nobody's come close. Well, because they do shit where like they'll start like shaving your head. Like if you're a lady, they'll just like take like dog clippers and start shaving all your hair off. Because you've agreed to this, and like people are spitting on you and stuff.
The dude's got like a whole crew of people that come to do. So that's the other thing too.
These are all horrible people.
Yeah,
there's no.
So it's not just this guy. He's got a whole crew of folks that do.
You should not be spitting on people.
Hey, this weekend I'm gonna go tie up somebody and torture them for fun.
But
you imagine that like on Monday when you come into the office, like, what'd you do all weekend? And the guy's
got tortured.
Just a little torture, and like, is that blood on you? He's like, it's fake blood. It's dog's blood.
Here's the fucked up part. There's people that are willing to do it. Like that's the thing.
Dude,
of course there
like
is.
you know, because that's the thing is like it's not just like this man isn't a menace where he is like just abducting people and doing this to him. Like people are literally rolling up and being like, this is something I would enjoy. Like I saw this on the internet and it said that it was the most extreme thing, and I drink all the hottest hot sauces. And here I am. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, that is kind of a part of the world. But, I mean, there's people that jump off mountains and all types of crazy shit.
I'd rather jump off a mountain, I think, and I hate fucking heights.
But I don't, the idea of getting spit on and not punching them in the face afterwards, I don't understand
I feel like
how
they
that
even,
would work.
like, they kind of, like,
restrained.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I can't punch you and you can spit on me. We're not doing this.
And I really
you're
think
handcuffed up.
they, like, smack them around a bit, too, and, like, not, knock you out punch, but I feel like they punch people a bit. Like, it's overly aggressive to the point where like I think people have tried to sue him before too, and I don't know where that's gone. But yeah, he's definitely had lawsuits and things brought up against him, I'm pretty sure.
I know that I had to say allegedly before this, but somebody's definitely got slapped across the face with a soft dick there. 100%. That's happened. Yeah. No.
Just good. Do you think just grazed on the cheek or just
full on tip? Like
full tip?
Somebody took one to the cheek, and it was just like. It's like, all right, I'm done.
Oh man,
I don't want to play this anymore.
That's like the ultimate. They're like, look, we are heading into 9.5 hours. I don't want to blow this $20,000. Tell Billy to go hit him with his dick. And he's like, all right.
There you go.
Get kidding, we are. And
guys, I don't got this 20. I don't. You guys know I don't.
It's either pay him 20 or split it between you 5.
Yeah. You got to get in there and just mushroom stamp him. I think this is what we got.
It's like I don't have any corn dogs. Come on.
There's also gonna be like a weird thing too, where like when they're torturing people to like try to figure out like what does and doesn't bother them. Where like they're just like wet willing somebody and they're just like, no, I don't go fuck.
Nah,
It's
that's
like
cool,
it's
whatever.
like, oh god damn, okay, tweak his nipples.
What
And
it- I was about to say, like-
and then like some guys are like, all right, I'm done. And other guys are like, and it's like, all right, quit tweaking his nipples. Stop doing that. Like this isn't working.
I gotta say, there's like some BDSM dungeon where there's some dude pulling off a dog mask right now. Like, I've been preparing for this for the last 10 years.
He's been in training.
I'm a fucking
ready for it.
Sith Lord, getting ready to get spit on, punched, and dick smacked, and just loving every moment of it. Getting that 20
enjoying
grand.
it, Just
yeah.
easiest money he's ever made.
How fucked up would that be, though, if you're the person who's trying to tap him out? You're like, I can't do
There's
it.
nothing.
Like, yeah, I mean,
This is the show we need. America's Next Cum Pig, where we just send some dude down that's just like, I don't, whatever, just destroy me. I don't mind. This is what I'm here for. It's the immovable force meeting, the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object.
yeah.
Who will win?
America's Next Cum Pick is, that's definitely something audience, Google it, see what happens. Who
Don't
knows?
Google it. Don't Google it.
Not on your work
You know,
computer.
don't
Not
on your work
computer.
computer. Not on your work
Yeah.
computer. Yeah. Use a VPN.
Yeah,
There
probably a
you
good
go.
idea.
There
Probably a
you
good idea. Someone's going to put you on a list after that.
All right. So when did you like as an adult start getting into like building out stuff? Like transitioning from like the point of like, hey, I'm a kid, I'm enjoying Halloween, but now I'm a man. Was this something you were doing like before you were married or before you had kids? Like when did this start?
No, it really just like what the version of what I have now at the house started when we bought. So the house that I currently live in, we bought in late 2018, moved in early 2019, and I started then. So I'm really still fairly new to the whole like decorating the house like a lot for Halloween, right? When we our first house that we owned though that we bought after we got married, I had a neighbor over there who had I will still say probably, if not the most, one of the most over the top like setups I've ever seen. And so back then I didn't even decorate because we lived kind of on a cul-de-sac. We would get trick-or-treaters, but it wasn't that much. And this dude's setup was just like to the point where like, if you live within a mile of this guy, why should you even try? Because I mean, he would build these and his were full size like characters. Like he had every monster you could think of from every monster movie. I tried to count the one year, and we lived in that house for like 8 years, so I got to see that set up. And he added stuff every year.
Were they 3D or were they like on like plywood boards or were they like mannequins?
They were like mannequins, basically.
Oh, wow.
Shit.
Yeah,
Holy
and,
shit.
I have some pictures because I used to take of the old ones, and he would have. I'm not joking. I tried to count one year, and I lost track at like 80, like full size.
80 full size.
Like we're talking.
figures.
And he would have
Damn.
like one section was like all these creepy clowns. One would be like a big witch's brew kind of thing with like a big pot. He would have like a Jason, a Michael Myers. He had a dude hanging from a fucking tree. He had all this stuff. And I came to find out from talking to the guy too, actually fast forward or rewind back to when I was a kid. His parents owned a, because I asked, I'm like, how do you get all of this stuff, right? Like my stuff is cool, but you can get my shit at Home Depot. It's nothing that like over the top. Like it's not hard to figure out where I get my stuff at. But I was like, how did you get all this? Where did this all come from? His parents owned a costume store when he was growing up.
Nice.
And he grew up close to where I currently live. And his parents used to set it all up at their house. And when he started telling me this, the wheels started turning. And I remembered seeing that house as a kid. It's right over on the west side. It used to be on Boudneau, right past Wardall, which is where I live right now, and close to Cheviot. And that's where Capples was, the costume store that I went to growing up. So we would always go over there in the fall to get like my Halloween costume stuff for the year. And then that house was right by there. So it was like this weird kind of connecting down the road like 20 years later. Like I live on the street, and this dude inherited everything from his parents. He told me it got to the point they had to stop putting everything out because part of the issue was that's a pretty busy road. I don't know how well you know the west side. Boudneau's got a lot of traffic, and it was causing like traffic issues.
Oh, I imagine, yeah.
Because like my
Slow
house,
down.
if people drive by, like they can slow down, and it's
Sure.
not that big of a deal. But yeah, like it was causing like problems, and they were just getting too many people around it. And so he inherited everything from them. So I always thought that was really cool that he had this crazy setup, right? And so fast forward to when we bought our house. We got it in the winter, so we moved in January, like right at the beginning of 2019. So as it was coming up to Halloween time, my wife kind of was like, "Hey," and I've always liked that stuff, but I just never did it. And so she was like, "If you wanted," and our house is like 100-year-old. It's a huge old, like 100-year-old house that looks like a big old castle, kind of. So it's got like a cool old look to it. And we kind of found out through the grapevine, the people we bought it from used to kind of decorate like a theme every year, so it was already kind of known as like a Halloween house. So she was like, "Hey, why not like if you can come up with some cool ideas, just like this year, like get some stuff, we'll decorate, we'll make it cool." And so that first year, I made a fence. Like I made this like haggard looking fence that's still up now. And I think I bought like 5 like of those like just plastic posable skeletons and like put them like looked like they were climbing on my house.
Oh, nice.
And then like some little just like cheap, because I had the idea too of like I'm gonna like make my own like headstones and stuff. And then I realized like these foam ones that they make, you just reinforce them a little bit and it's way less work and they're pretty cheap. And so just it started with probably like a handful of these headstones and some skeletons, and then like got some cool LED lights. And that was the first version of it in 2019. And then since then, it's kind of every year adding. And even like 2020 when COVID was happening and all that shit, I remember like that being like a big highlight of being like, we're going to, like when they announced that they were going to, because I was decorating anyway. We were stuck at home. I put up the decorations really early that year. And having trick-or-treaters that year, I remember I made like a candy chute out of this giant skull that I found. Like I found this huge skull at Lowe's, so I cut the eye out of it and I put PVC pipe through it. And I have steps that go up to my house, right? And so I stood at the top of the steps. That was at the bottom on a table, and the kids just put their bag out, and I like threw candy through the pipe.
Oh, that's
down
a
to
great
the kids.
idea. Yeah.
And then just kind of every year since then, I just buy more shit, and then I just kind of add to it, and just kind of keep doing it. Kind of again back to the whole what we got here originally for, just the collector thing, right? Like it's not necessarily something I look at as a collection, but it is a collection. I have this ridiculous,
You are amassing.
Yeah, I have this ridiculously large amount of Halloween decorations now. And so really the version that I have of it now has been, what year is it? 2010. So this is the 5th year, I guess.
Hell yeah.
I've like put it out. So yeah, and I try to add a little bit of stuff every year, but nothing too crazy. So, but yeah, so I've been doing the actual decorating part for like 5 years now. And we lucked out too that when we first moved in, I was putting up the stuff the first year, and got to walk my neighborhood. People walk a lot, and one of the neighbors was like, "Hey, is this your first Halloween?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "All right, well, just be ready." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And they were like, "We get about 400 or 500 trick or treaters."
Damn.
Nice.
So everybody, because Westwood is where I live now, it's the biggest neighborhood in the city by I think population and size, but everybody apparently just comes to my street. I live on a street called Epworth, and everyone just hits, like I live on on a corner. My neighbor that lives behind me on the other street will get 4 trick-or-treaters, and I will get 500. Everybody
Holy
just
shit. Wow. They
hammers
just
down
go straight.
Epworth, and they just stay on that street. So I will get 1 million trick-or-treaters, which is great too, because that's the other thing. I don't want to I like living somewhere where I get trick-or-treaters.
Yeah.
I would be super bummed out if on Halloween nobody came by. Like that would make me sad for sure. So we lucked out that we just kind of are in a really good neighborhood for it too. And so so kind of been into it now for just about 5 years or so, decorating and doing the whole thing.
Nice.
So yeah.
Jamie, do you decorate externally for Halloween?
Not a ton. There's not a lot of like kids. There's kids in our neighborhood, but it's the same thing. They kind of go out everywhere else and trick or treat and things like that. I did some woodcuts like a year or two ago, just like some random weird monster type stuff, and we put those out in the yard. But we don't do a lot. Like the inside the house, we have like my wife. We have a couple of like vases and that she likes to kind of like decorate with weird things. So she has like skulls and stuff that she'll put around those, and then like. Especially in like our living room, it looks like we're celebrating Halloween all year long anyway with all the prints, and they're all horror themed movies and stuff like that anyway. But yeah, we don't do it too much.
We're trying to get like a small little thing going. Like we just want to have something.
Sure.
But it's an investment, and then it's the storage thing, and it's like, all right, where does this thing live now? And there is a Leatherface animatronic now at Home Depot that it's like $300, and I'm like, I mean, I guess I could keep it at my office the rest of the year. Like, I mean, I can talk myself into this, right? Like, it's one of those things where like I kind of want to get into it, but then I'm like, oh no, it's another collection, and that kind of scares me.
I will say this: we've been recording these podcasts for a few weeks now, and every time I've hung out with Tank, I think you've brought that up almost in every like time I've been around you. I think it's time to maybe pull the button. And get this Leatherface.
Let's crowdsource it. Let's everybody out there listening. Let's all throw in like
yeah. Maybe we do like an Instagram.
We can get Tank his
What about
Leatherface?
Okay. If that happened to be awesome.
I mean, it's just like we can tell it's on your mind. It's just like you're not letting go.
I know exactly what you're talking about too, because we always.
It's so great. It's Leatherface, and he's huge, and he has a chainsaw.
Is he?
He's
life size.
I saw a bunch of them this year at the Depot, but I didn't see the Leatherface one because they had a bunch of new ones this year that were like kind of like.
It's either Depot's
creepy.
or Lowe's. It's one of the two. I forget which one, but yeah, it's one of them, and yeah.
And this is full life size, like 6 foot tall.
I don't know about this one, but the ones I've seen are big, like the animatronic ones. That's my only thing though too is I don't know. how well those things do outside, because they definitely will say like for indoor use only, and the animatronics with like in October in Ohio, you're gonna get some rain on.
You're
that
gonna
bad
get
boy.
you're gonna hit with some shit.
So that's why I don't have anything that's got the animatronic piece.
I think it's one of those things where like maybe you pop out on Halloween night, it's a
Yeah.
clear sky.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And then you tuck it back in your man cave office for the rest of the year, where
Yeah, that's true.
you're just a small boy
Just hanging out.
that sometimes retreats to his studio to be alone.
Inspired.
No, it's not sad, listener. It's not
You're never
sad.
alone
It's
if you're
nothing,
with
and that's
Leatherface.
and that's
say.
not me. That's not me. That's some
So-
other guy that hosts another podcast. I'm cool.
Yeah,
All right.
And you weirdly just like look into Leatherface's eyes and bond.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
You
What?
see the child in him sees the child in you.
Yes. Wait, was that Smashing Pumpkins?
Maybe, I don't know.
It is, yeah.
I think actually it is. I didn't mean to be, but yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, does the yard have a theme at this point? Or
Yeah, so it's kind of like, it's basically like, I guess, like a cemetery.
Cemetery's
With,
theme?
Yeah, and then it's just a ton of those, like, again, you've seen them a million times out there. It's just those posable skeletons. I just buy more of those every year and just kind of add them to it. So it's like this big, again, like I said, it started with them kind of crawling on the house. Now I have a bunch on the house, but I also have a bunch in the yard, too, that are kind of coming out of the ground or just walking around. There's skeleton dogs now. There's skeleton cats. There's zombie squirrels. Pretty much anything that I see that I don't have, like, I kind of end up just like, oh, yeah. Like, I went to Walgreens, like, a month ago just to grab, like, some 2 liters to go to, like, my daughter's little birthday party we were having at my in-laws. And while I was there, they had their Halloween stuff out.
Yeah.
And so I popped into the little and just bought a random few things for inside the house, of course, because now I have a lot for outside. So just some little indoor of the house. So, spend an extra $80 on stupid shit that I just, little skeletons and little skulls and stuff like that. And so, like, everybody sells Halloween shit, and it's just impossible. I'm not good at not buying the stuff that I just like.
Do you have websites that you're going to?
No, I've never actually ordered anything.
Interesting.
And I think it's mostly because I want to see it with this kind of stuff. I don't know.
You got to pick it up. You got to touch. You got to smell. You got to lick it. You got to get in
Yeah,
there.
sort of, I guess. But
Don't lick it.
No, probably.
Yeah,
won't
I don't
like
know
it.
what that plastic.
Yeah.
But no, the reality is too. Most of it is literally. It's not that cool. It's just mostly all comes from Home Depot. That's the spot. Every year they have the biggest. Like, again, and those skeletons they have there, those are the ones I like. They compose and all that kind of stuff, and so they kind of all fit together. And so every year I just kind of add more and more things from there. And then I'll hit like Lowe's and all the other stores too. Like everybody, like I said, even like Michael's, like Walgreens, like everyone sells Halloween stuff to an extent. So it's just a matter of if I'm at the store and I'm looking around and I see something that'll fit, I might as well just snag it up. If it's a skeleton, anything, I'll pretty much buy it at this point because now I'm trying to have. I've been looking at your little French bulldogs here. I have some, but I don't have those ones, and now I'm kind of like, I need those. Like I don't have those right now.
Target.
Target, okay.
Do you guys fuck with Spirit Halloween?
I have in the past just for like costume stuff back in the day, but I have not ever gone to like buy any decorations from one. And I don't know, there's not one over by me right now, I don't think. Or maybe there is. And
I think
feel
they
like
all
there was a run of them,
moved.
and now the last couple years I haven't seen them as prominently.
This last year, like where I've always went to one, because I love Spirit Halloween. I love it. And usually I'm there like the first couple of days. And this year though, like the place that I normally go is not a Spirit. So
Okay.
I'm hoping to try to figure out where they're at now, because I think they just shifted wherever they're going, because
these
they
times
usually just
do
house them in
whatever-
random
yeah,
places.
like whatever building.
Yeah,
with, like,
Yeah,
old
whatever's
businesses
open.
and
formerly a
everything.
Dick's, now it's Spirit.
Oh, I
you
do
know?
have a cool, I think I got from a Spirit Halloween years ago. One of the first Halloween decorations I probably bought because I had it at the old house and I didn't decorate a lot. I also have, we've never talked about this, but I have a fairly, I don't know, it's not huge, but I have a decent sized gnome, like lawn gnome collection as
Okay.
well. I haven't really bought any of those in years, but I've always liked the gnome. So I have like a cool zombie like gnome that I found like
Nice.
at the Halloween. That was
Nice.
one of the first things that I was like,
Always
oh,
a
this
good-
is cool.
yeah.
Like a zombie gnome.
This
I still have
fits.
that little guy.
I like a good crossover collection.
Yeah. But yeah, I haven't been to a Spirit Halloween in a while.
Spirit Halloween is a wild ass thing, man. Where it's just like I would love to have the business model of this, where it's like, I guess it's like if the same storefront is abandoned for like 2 or 3 months, whatever. Because what Spirit's up from like what September to October.
Yeah, basically.
Probably,
It's
yeah.
like a 2 month, 8 week
2 month
span.
time.
And they're in and out. They're in, like sometimes like like a lot of strip mall areas.
So they
and
usually
stuff.
over on where I was at, it was like old strip malls for sure.
Yeah, there's one over near us, Jaimie, on the east side in Oakley, where like
The shopping center there by Old Navy. I think.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I always would go to. It's
Yeah.
not there this year.
oh, they don't have it this year. That's a
yeah.
bummer.
Yeah, I mean, I like literally walked up to it and had to do like the sad pouty kid face. Like, oh no, it's not here.
It's not here.
Then you just had to go to Old Navy.
Yeah, I know. Like, I guess I'll buy shorts.
Oh, I'm bummed.
New hoodie.
It's kind of weird to think that like no other holiday has that kind of store thing though, because like you don't get like something like that for like does something like that for Christmas or like the 4th of July?
Is it
exist?
Christmas tree? Is that?
I wonder if though it's because of the whole costume aspect, right? Like everybody has to buy the costumes every
Yeah.
year, so you just I think that's the selling point.
That's the
right?
thing is because you don't really dress up. I mean, you do dress up for other stuff, but like if you dress up for like a holiday party, it's like just buy red pants or like green pants and like a red shirt or tie or
Again,
like a
you
Christmas
go
sweater.
right to that Old
Well,
Navy.
now the whole even the Christmas sweater things, right? Back, I remember the first time we did one of those early 2000s, right? Like before they were really a big thing. You'd have to go find like something random at like the Goodwill or whatever.
Yeah.
And now, like and I think it's cool, but now like you just go online, you can find the Christmas sweater in literally any theme
for
you can possibly
anything.
find.
Anything.
Yeah.
And they're cool, but yeah, it's the same thing. It's just kind of like it's a lot easier to access the stuff now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like it's to the point where like Sleep has a Christmas sweater where like you can get like pot leaf Christmas sweaters. It's like all right, cool. Like this is where we're at now for the holidays. Is whatever you want. Would you like a Transformer Christmas sweater? Would you like a GI Joe Christmas sweater? Like
How about a Rambo?
A Rambo.
Oh, that would be a good one.
You could wear a Rambo Christmas sweater for your new Rambo outfit.
I would really like to get a Christmas sweater that's just it's Rambo's torso and abs with like a bandolier wrapped around it.
Pretty sweet.
And I could just like wear it to Christmas.
But
like
but
it.
wear also the red bandana tie, or, the headgear thing.
Yes.
Bandana or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bandana.
Listener, I feel like I can tell you about this, and you're not going to hold it against me. Like, okay, it's eventually going to happen. I just don't know when it's going to happen. But after doing the Rocky episode with Steve, I definitely want to do like a Rambo episode at some point because, goddamn, dude, what a great franchise of movies that goes all over the place.
All over.
Like, it's like, you know what? We're going to start this thing out by seriously talking about PTSD and Vietnam veterans. And by the end, we're living a weird MAGA fever dream where Sylvester Stallone is killing Mexican drug lords in his weird bunker mine house. Fuck, what a series.
It's wild.
Yes.
Yeah, which what you're doing is way healthier than building bunkers in your yard. I think what you're doing with having like cool Halloween displays, you're helping the community. You're not threatening.
I feel
the
like it.
community.
I think the community.
yeah,
enjoys it.
Yeah, I
You're-
don't know.
you're on the good
I don't
side
think
of this.
Rambo would have good Halloween decorations. So I
No.
think you got
They'd
him
be
on
ter-
that.
They'd be really like intense. And
That's a
probably,
lot of
kinda
IDs.
Scary.
Yeah.
It would be-
There would be a whole lot of booby traps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Survival knives everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Yeah. You can't have Rambo making a Halloween.
I guess
He's
maybe some impaled heads.
yeah.
That would be pretty
Yeah. Oh,
sweet.
there would definitely be heads on pikes. There'd be
Yeah.
cobras. It's not good.
Be
You can't-
intense.
Yeah. No. It's like, I thought I was entertaining the kids. It's like you're not. You're
No.
terrifying the kids, Rambo. You gotta just go.
John.
Just
Come
go
on,
in,
John.
John, go inside. Go inside, John. Okay. He's gone, kids. It's okay.
Everything's okay. He's just handing out like old used hand grenades or like deactivated.
They're like,
hand
no,
grenades and
John,
stuff.
John.
You can't give the kids those.
God damn it, John. Come on. Every year, man.
We go through this every year.
They forgot about me. It's like, okay, John. I know you're my brother, but seriously, man, like it's so hard every year when you come over and do this. Like my wife is giving me shit and I'm trying to keep this going, but goddamn, John.
All I can hear is they're calling the cops, man.
Yeah,
Calling
it's
the cops.
it's so bad. Do you have to build anything when you're putting together the yard? Like is like what's construction time like as you're trying to like settle this up?
So most of my stuff, because I don't really have anything that I've built per se. I want to maybe eventually get into that a bit more. Right now, the fence that I have that's up front, I built, I made that, right? Like that was one of the first things we did, back when I first did it. So I bought just a bunch of, and it's a really shitty fence. It doesn't actually even work that well. You can tell I don't build fences for a living. But I've made that, and then every year I have these
How did you come up with the idea to have an entryway? Like, how did you decide on that?
Well, so the way my yard is set up, I have kind of steps that come up from the sidewalk anyway,
Okay.
and I'm on a corner lot. And so I really just fence off the front. I don't even do the whole yard because it'd be a ton. And so that was just kind of the idea of just looking at it the way it was laid out. I was like, we'll put a fence in the front and then the steps kind of right here that come down to the sidewalk. That'll just be an easy kind of entrance or whatever. And then I guess thinking in my head, I was thinking, like cemetery kind of thing. I used to work at a cemetery. I don't know if we ever talked about that, but I worked at Spring Grove Cemetery in Cincinnati for... I want to say 11 summers, give or take. I
What
worked
the
there
fuck were you
forever.
doing over there?
Cutting grass,
Cutting
trimming
grass, taking care of
doing all
shit?
that stuff.
Yeah.
But I definitely also helped with interments from time to time. So I've seen some it's not over the top weird shit, but stuff that people. I've seen the holes. I've been down in some of those holes before. It's kind of weird.
So when you're out there string trimming, headphones in?
So you know what? It's really funny, man. I don't know if they've changed the rule, but back then we weren't allowed to wear headphones or anything. Now, mind you,
What?
eventually later on, and this was like
eardrums blown out.
Well, you got to remember the first year I worked there was like 2002. So I was a kid when I first started there. But I worked there in the summers forever because I always either I was in school or grad school, and then when I got out, I'm still off in the summers with my work because I work in schools. And so I'd always just work until I had my own kids. I would still work part time there. It was a cool job. I loved all the dudes I worked with there, and it was just fun. And when I started mowing, that was a lot of times because that place is so big. You mow grass literally all day, every day. Like that's all you do. So I mean, we would just have I had like a little old like AM/FM radio that you could just run up your shirts and just listen to that. So I mean, we would, but technically we weren't allowed to. It was the weirdest thing ever. I'm hoping that they've changed that now. I don't know if it's an insurance thing. I don't know if because like if you can't hear, I really don't know because I think that was the thing is they'd be like, you won't be able to hear traffic coming, and I was like, well, I can't hear shit because I'm driving a fucking lawnmower that's really loud and I have earplugs in. So like it does your rationale doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so believe it or not really as much of that, but I always kind of like just that look, and so I was like, yeah, we'll just do like a cemetery kind of feel, and it was just easy, I think, at the beginning to fill a lot of space with just a lot of those foam little like ones. Now with those I've done, I figured out the way they come, they just give you like these little stakes to put in. So what I do is I took a little, what's that little handheld thing that spins? Dremel, like a Dremel. So, yeah, I don't know shit.
I was
about
very
stuff.
confused. I was like,
So I have one of those.
Well, and immediately, like, I thought egg beater. Like, I was
Kinda like an egg beater,
I was like, what the fuck?
you know
is
So
those,
like I have a Dremel tool literally just to like bore out the back of these, and then I like connect PVC to them, and then I stick like rebar in them. So like some of that, like I've reinforced a lot of the stuff, I guess you could say, but I haven't necessarily built anything. But I see a ton of people that do that stuff, and I always like want to try to make something every year, and then I run out of time is basically what happens. I kick it down the road, and then before you know it's September, and I'm like, well shit, I have to get up what I have. So it's more just adding quantity to it at this point, just kind of fill it out more. But eventually I think I want to get into more building.
spray foam. It's the
Yep.
trickiest, creepiest stuff ever.
It looks so cool. It really does. It has like that weird, like, not like alien biomech in the way of like what the eggs look like. It's that weird, like puffy, weird surface that just is uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it's like blistering.
It's a little too organic, and it
Yeah.
just doesn't look right. So
Yeah, super creepy.
yeah,
Like that a lot. I think the whole thing is interesting, like the way people do pick what their horror yard is. Because I have a guy that lives up the street from me.
I was gonna say that I saw your post there. That dude's house makes mine look stupid, man. That thing was insane. That's really, and he built a lot of that stuff. I can tell. And that's the guy that in my old neighborhood. He made all of his things himself. Like that, I can't imagine the amount of time that takes. Because what I have there isn't insanely time consuming, but it takes a while to get all that shit out. So to make all of that stuff too, and then put it all out like that, yeah. But the one you posted that like a week or so ago, I think, and that dude's house is ridiculous. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, the dude's a very unique human. I've tried to talk to him, and he is the classic like, thanks. Like he is not into talking to people.
He's not coming down here to sit in the basement and talk to you about
he's
a setup.
not here to talk about anything. And it's really interesting, like living near somebody that does put up a yearly holiday attraction, because I'm just like, at this point, me and my wife wait for it. We're stoked about it.
Bet, yeah.
Like
It's cool.
We're like, it's coming. It's going to happen. And then, we walk our dog daily, and every day we walk past this man's house. And then, at the beginning of September, like we see like the fence post down, and we're like, oh shit, oh, it's back, it's coming back, and then you watch it evolve. And like every day we're walking past this man's house, it's like a time lapse where, he's building the fence, and he's building the structure, and he brings in like this barn thing, and he builds a fucking barn. It's, with multiple rooms. And I'm just like, all right, man, cool. And then, getting into like the whole thing of like the mannequins and stuff and all that. And it's just like a next level thing. Like, not everything can be that, nor should it. But like, to just see this dude do this thing is just so incredible. And then what's also nuts about it is then like, he then during November, after Halloween's over, he takes all the Halloween shit out and converts it into Santa's Village for Christmas.
So he does a big Christmas thing too.
And
so I don't. That's the thing. Everybody always, I'm like, nope. I've already spent enough time.
It's just like such like a weird, crazy 4-month cycle. Well, more than 4 months, actually 5 months, because September to set the whole thing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, to like watch this thing evolve, it's just like.
But that's the thing. You're like, that's his thing. Like that is probably.
It's got to be his thing.
Yeah, like if it's 5 months, that's what. I'm horrible at math here. Sorry, everybody. Like 7 months of thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I actually did math right. Okay, so math is right. Yay. But that's that many months of thinking probably and constructing in his head, just waiting for the day. It's just like,
Yeah, and just putting it out. I felt
that's
so
insane.
I felt so bad for him last year. Some kid that was in the neighborhood like fucked with it.
Oh,
But big surprise, he had trail cams up on it.
Oh,
so
good God.
so he just like posted
job.
to like the local Facebook group. He's like, "Hey, is this your kid?"
yeah.
There you go.
Just like, all right.
Hey, don't have. I mean, yeah, that's the stuff that pisses me off because I'm like, somebody put a lot of work in that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, and especially like, I get it too. When you're a kid, you're stupid. You don't think about that. But it's like someone put a lot of work in this, and if I fuck with this, they're not going to put any more work in this.
Yeah.
And my neighborhood doesn't have this cool thing every year. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Jaimie, there was also. Do you remember over in Covington? I remember when I would like used to come to your apartment to do jiu-jitsu. There was like somebody that was across the
Down
street
to
from,
Main
like,
Street.
It's on Main Street.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
That house is sick. I saw it last year. They're still doing it. That is crazy.
Yeah,
That's a
they
cool setup.
really do a great
That's
job.
a really cool one.
Yeah. Jaimie, can you guys kind of like explain where that's at? Like,
Is if you're coming from Cincinnati, and you come over like and right on Main Street, I guess you'd be going south.
You'd
at
be
that
going
point?
south. Yeah, it's the south end of
Before it
Main
hits-
Street.
What's that main street that you run into there?
Pike.
That's Pike. So it's
Yeah.
probably like 3 blocks before Pike, right? If you're going that way.
Yeah, because it's right before. There's a gas station as you leave Main Street
There's a cool
and
little
Pike
shop
Street
there,
there.
too that sells like
Earth to Kentucky
yeah,
is
it's
right
right
down
by
there.
Earth to Kentucky.
Yeah, Earth to Kentucky, who we actually spoke to the owners of.
Oh,
yeah,
cool. There
Yeah,
you
shout
go.
out Dustin. What's up, dog?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but right before you get to Earth to Kentucky, I think that's correct in my brain here.
If you're coming from the Cincinnati.
From
yeah.
Cincinnati, yeah, it is on your left hand side, and,
And
it's
it's
just
a wild setup. Just
wild. Yeah, it's kind of cool too because it's like Covington has got a lot of hills and weird verts, and it's like old school German architecture.
built
and
onto
it's
yeah.
built on a
It's
hill,
almost
so
on like
it's,
a wall. It's wild looking.
yeah, it's just very interesting.
And then that pretty sure they park like a hearse or something out on the
They do.
street too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, they've got like a whole. That's a whole other level.
It's a gig.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's really
Yeah,
really
you
cool.
know,
I saw that last year for the first time. I'd never seen that one before.
Yeah.
But because that's what I take the long way when I go over to Florence to get tattooed. Because
Oh,
I
right
really
on,
love
yeah.
driving on the highway, if we're being honest. And so I think I was going to get tattooed, and I drove by there and was just like, holy shit, what is going on here? And I think did they do something there where they like have like a haunted house or something? I feel like they had like an advertisement up where they maybe raise money.
I'm not
like
for
a charity
sure
or
if
something,
they. I mean,
feel like.
if they have had a haunted house, I've never really I've never went. I'm not the
Yeah, that
biggest
place
on haunted
is-
houses,
yeah,
but
it's really really cool.
I've definitely loved to just drive by it at least and check it out at night. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just so stoked when anybody decorates their yard. I'm just happy because like, it's just such a cool thing to see all the horror stuff on the yard. Again, as somebody who's a fan of horror movies that loves scary shit, I love to see people put this like weird freaky shit on their front lawn where it's just like we all share this scare because again it's like this is the only holiday where you can do this. Like every other holiday is like soft and like it's fun, and then Halloween's like evil, and it's like this is great. Like it's just like go nuts. If you want to have a guy in a body bag on your front lawn, god damn it, 1A, you can have it.
Yes. And on the flip side, this is something I always tell people too. Like decorating for Halloween, I like a lot more because like Christmas, right? Let's say for instance, I think it's really cool if you can do like a good light display. That's not me. I can't. I'm not good. I can't pull all that shit like straight and tight, and like it has to be like very precise. And if one light's off, the whole thing is fucked up, right? It looks weird. In my world, if like one of my skeletons loses an arm, guess what? That skeleton just lost his fucking arm. That's it. If the fence breaks, it's an old fence. It's supposed to fucking break. Like you got a lot of wiggle room within. Like if stuff like you don't have to make it
True.
look perfect. Like,
It
it's-
actually works with the story that you're selling.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
I
I was
love
joking with
this.
my friends. I sent them a picture. I was putting some stuff up, and I took a picture of the decorations and sent it to a couple people I work with. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting this stuff out. But I also was like, but now that I look at it, I was like, my grass is in fucking awful shape. Like, because it hasn't rained in a while and it was all burnt out. And like, yeah, it goes with the motif. And I was thinking, I was like, yeah, if I just let my entire house just fall apart, it just fits because I'm decorating for Halloween, right? Like, it doesn't matter. So, yeah, it can look like shit and it's supposed to. It's well, not shit, but it can look rough and run down and it fits
just
perfectly.
works. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Halloween is supposed to be shitty.
exactly.
Like-
That's what I say. If a Halloween decoration, it's never really broken. You can always repurpose it in one way, shape, or form, right? Like if you have an old Santa Claus that loses his arm or his head, you're not going to put that up in your yard anymore because you can't have a headless Santa. But guess what? I can have a headless skeleton, and nobody's going to care.
I think that's maybe the new gig should be like if someone does a haunted Christmas themed front yard
be
with
fun.
headless Santas and devil reindeer and
I'd be into that.
Oh,
For sure.
dude, hell yeah. No, that
just pitch that idea.
you could definitely make that happen. Yeah, not a
sweet.
problem. So earlier you were talking about doing like shit with lights and stuff in the yard. Like, do you have lights? Do you have like smoke, special effects? Like, how do you handle that?
Not anything fancy, but like I have a smoke machine, which again is another thing. If I would have told 12-year-old me, like, you're gonna own 20 skeletons in a smoke machine when you're 35,
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'd be like, that's fucking rad, and be covered in tattoos too. Like, what? Okay, this
you're
sounds
winning.
Like it's working out for me, right? But so yeah, I have a handful of LED lights that I bought that kind of go in the yard that kind of light up everything at night, and they've got the different functions, so you can make them like flow through different colors or like do strobe effects. And all of that.
Do you have like a certain thing that you keep it on like during the and the countdown to Halloween as compared to Halloween? Do you just like go like 45 million strobes or something crazy like that?
Normally, like on the normal nights, I'll just kind of have them on, and I think it's just. But then I can I think on Halloween I'll usually have them strobing, but then I'll have. Do I only have one smoke machine? I might have two. This is the problem: is I have so much shit that I forget how many I have. But I at least have one smoke machine, and I don't have that out all.
Sure, just during
October.
regular days.
But that runs during Halloween for sure. I'll have that running the whole time too. So it's really just kind of a big, smoke machine with some lights. My wife had sent me a link earlier this year from a house that's like not around here, but it was like a prominent house. I think it's in New Orleans where they decorate it really cool, and they've got cool LEDs that are on the house itself. And that's a whole different ballgame of like actually being on timers and stuff, which I haven't gotten into yet. But I think this year I might add some more lights to the situation. But yeah, definitely have some like low tech special effects, but some special effects. And then on Halloween itself, I had a few other things out to like where I actually hand out the candy with the kids. So we have like an extra table with extra skulls and all kinds of things. And I usually have music playing and like again the fog machines blasting and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's kind of the lights, smoke. That's about the length of it for the effects. Nothing too crazy, but enough to make it look nice and cool.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah,
I would be
that's
so
awesome.
stoked if I was a kid and I got like a light show and smoke.
Yeah, so I have two little girls. I have daughters, and they think like they come out and they'll hit the smoke machine and stuff. They like to mess with it. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it is. It's not the one I have doesn't make as big of a noise, but I did for a while. One of my old friends had access to one through his work that was like the one that was like the Canon one. Like it was the real deal that had the lights on it and everything. And that was the one I got to use for the first couple of years for it. I got spoiled and then he wasn't in that job anymore, so I didn't get to use it. But I mean, he brought it over after work one day and I was like, holy shit, this thing is, we're talking like a real deal. Like, and it had like a remote that you could do from pretty far away that, I mean, like, and it was loud enough to where I would hit it. It would also like freak people out a little bit. Like when they'd be walking by like on Halloween night,
yeah, I bet.
like the smoke comes out, but it'd be loud enough, like, psh, to where it was like, what the hell is that? And so I had access to that for a couple of years, and then he got a new gig, and so I had to go ahead and get my own. So the one I have now it's fine, but it's not as heavy duty. So maybe I need to invest in a new, heavy duty smoke machine. That might be the next move.
Jaimie, I'm going to speak for me, and I'm going to add you onto this. And after I say what I say, if you want to eject, totally cool.
Okay.
Pageantry.
Pageantry. Oh, so much pageantry.
Cosign?
Cosign to pageantry.
Cosign all
Smoke pageantry.
Yes. Who doesn't love lights and smoke and all sorts of cool shit?
It's a great mood of entrance, but in your yard.
There's lasers, things are popping off.
It's pretty
I'm
awesome.
not gonna lie, it's hilariously fun to just like sit there and just like push the button on the smoke machine. Like it doesn't get old. I'm almost 40 and I'm still just like plug that motherfucker and let's
See
go.
where that would hit pretty
It's
fun.
fun. It's the coolest. It's so much fun. It
Maybe,
really is.
Maybe the next level to Halloween is WWE Pyro, where like if some kid rolls up in a really cool suit, you hit the pyro, boom, 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 you get like a really great
Oh my god, that
entrance.
traumatized all these poor kids.
That's
but it
true.
would be kind of amazing at the same time.
You're setting off car alarms.
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna. He already said it. We're not traumatizing this generation. They've had the internet their whole lives. It's
true. It's true.
They're
Yeah.
fine. They're fine.
Guys, thank you for reeling me back in. I thought this was cool. Turns out I was giving children PTSD. All right, we're going to take out the explosions, no fireworks, but we are going to keep the sweet smoke and
Smoke for
the
sure.
LED lights. Yeah,
The LEDs. Yeah.
it's super cool. Like,
Yeah.
you can't say no to this. Speaking of cool visual shit, total sidetrack. Have you guys seen the Sphere in Las Vegas?
I just saw from over the weekend like the first show at it
With
too. That
you
was,
two there?
Yeah, that was an interesting. It doesn't look real. It looks cool, but yeah, I don't know really what to think about it yet because it's so over the top.
It's insane. I definitely want to see a show there. Listener, look up the Sphere in Las Vegas. Right now, U2's doing a residency there for, I guess, a few weeks or a month or something. It's just a surreal experience. You're inside a gigantic, like...
Sphere.
Yeah, you're in a big circle IMAX theater.
I guess,
But
can you see out it though too? It looks
no,
like
every wall is just covered in LEDs. Like you're just surrounded in a room.
So when it looked like that, that's just like
Yeah, you're just surrounded in a gigantic LED room, and it's a big ball, and then the stage is just like a big white box on the floor,
Right on the floor, yeah.
and that's it. And then everything else just forms around it.
And then the AI takes over and tells you that you're home, and you just assume you're home, and then it's Terminators. That's
We're getting there. We're working on it.
Yeah,
Well, and the big reveal at the end of this is that Bono's an actual robot, and he has been forever.
he's an AI robot. He was the
Yes.
first one.
That's why we wear sunglasses indoors.
Yeah,
Not because he's an asshole, because he's
True.
Terminator.
Exactly. It all adds up.
Yeah.
He's like Rowdy Piper, and They Live.
Yes,
He
exactly.
just wants to see other
He just can tell.
AIs, so
Yes.
that's why he wears the glasses.
He can tell who's who. He knows who. Yeah.
He's keeping score. He's like, I know what's going on right
These
now.
are all aliens. I get it.
So what's the storage situation like for this? Like how, like,
Yep.
November 1st comes, it's time to take shit down.
Sure.
Where does this live?
So again, I'm fortunate that I have a big old house, and the big old house comes with a big old basement that you can't really finish because it's a creepy old 100-year-old basement.
It's very
a ton of-
Cincinnati of you.
Huge amount of storage in my basement.
Do you have a toilet in your basement?
There is a toilet in the basement
Hell
for
yeah,
sure, but
Cincinnati
it has
toilet.
actually got it's got a door to it though. It's not just an open.
It's not just a
It's
man
not
in the
it's
middle
not-
of the
so I've
basement.
learned that's a Pittsburgh toilet is what they call it.
Yes,
And
yes.
the funny thing about that is I've only been to Pittsburgh once, and me and my buddies rented an Airbnb, and I remembered as soon as I saw that I was like, sure as shit, the basement of that Airbnb had a toilet just sitting in the middle of it. And so, yeah. But no, long story short, again, all of the stuff lives in my basement, kind of again in the back corner by my ridiculously large, like 100-year-old boiler that also like heats my house, which I don't know how to work either. And we still have a ton of storage space down there. It's a huge, huge basement that if you come in there and don't know, and I don't store anything like organized at all. Like I'm ridiculously, I think like adult undiagnosed ADHD at this point. It's just a big pile of skeletons. Like you turn a corner and there's a pile of skeletons sitting in my basement.
It's like a lot of.
And I don't go in that room
Cincinnati
very often.
basements.
So like if you come at the right time of the year, like it's covered in spider webs too. Because like again, I don't really ever go down there.
Extra creepy.
It's yeah. So most of it lives in the basement. The fence I keep. We have a detached garage. When you were talking about that, that's something I thought of. Maybe fast forward down the road, figuring out a way to incorporate that
Kinda
and make
build
it
that
into
through,
some sort
yeah.
of thing. But I keep the fence in that just because it'd be a pain in the ass to carry the fence all the way down to the basement.
sure, yeah.
It's a pain in the ass to get all those fucking skeletons in and out of the basement. To be quite honest with you, you can only really carry 2 skeletons at a time comfortably, and it takes a lot of trips up and down the steps to get them all in and out. But yeah, basement and garage. So again, I'm fortunate with this big old house to have a lot of storage space, and so yeah, it all lives in the basement during the regular year.
As somebody that is a collector that has storage, do you have a governor? So is there anybody in your life telling you we need less of this, we need to sell things off? Like, is there a stopping point?
Not really. No, the one thing my wife is really pretty cool about all of my, and like funny thing is too, I have a bunch of different like things going on. We talked about all my prints and stuff.
Oh, your artwork, yeah.
I have a lot of it on the walls. I have a room on the 3rd floor of my house that's just filled with stuff that's not framed or hung yet either. And then, again, some of the other stuff, again, the Halloween stuff, because she likes it and she knows the kids like it and I'm into it. So again, as long as I don't have enough yet to where it's become a problem. So I think I exercise a little bit of self-restraint, at least enough to where, I'm not... I think if we were to get to the point where we were looking at our bank account and there was a problem, then maybe it would be like, okay, we have to stop spending. So luckily now that hasn't really affected it. So, because the space we have it, so you really don't even know you have the stuff. It's not getting in the way. And so, yeah, I really don't have one. And even with the tattoos and stuff, again, like this past weekend, we were in Kansas City for my wife's cousin's wedding, and we knew about this trip for a while. And I was like, I'm probably going to get tattooed while we were there. And she's like, all right, that's fine. I'll just hang out with my family that day, and you can go get tattooed. And I'm like, perfect. Like, I'll see you guys at 1. Like, appointments at 11, done by 1, met back up with them afterwards, nice and easy. So, yeah, unfortunately, I guess it's fortunate, but yeah, I think I don't really have anyone telling me, like, yeah, don't get more stuff.
I think as long as you don't like get a coke problem, you're probably great. Like,
Yeah. Yes, and that's something-
everything seems pretty cool in your world.
Yeah, and that's probably part of the reason why I've never tried that. Don't want to get in that world because, yeah, I really like stuff. And so I feel like I might get way too far into that, and that would be a problem. So, yeah, we're out on that for sure.
I'm in the same boat. I've never done coke because I've had friends that do, haven't done and do coke. But, like, it's always described as, like, you can drink. And I'm like, I love drinking. It's like, and then it's like a reset button. I'm like, oh, that's
don't need that
dangerous. I'm
reset
like, that's
No.
that's going to cause some problems. If I can just like hit the reverse like on it and then I can just like reset 4 hours.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Like I'm not going to go to sleep. And
That's
then
the last thing I need.
I'm just going to be up for like 16 hours and be drinking. I'm just going to like completely house a lot of beers. And
Well, then the flip side of that they don't is eventually you have to deal with that. Eventually you have to get back to normal and deal with the fact that you haven't slept in a day and been drinking for 16 hours, and that doesn't sound.
That
fun.
sounds very painful.
That sounds really bad. That
Yeah.
sounds like a lot of anxiety and a lot of physical pain that I'm not trying to deal with. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah. That's also funny. I remember like back in when I was in my 20s, I didn't know what anxiety was, and so I would just like I would never like get physically hungover, but I would just be like, "The fuck did I do last night? What happened? What? Why is it?" And I would like for like a day and a half just be like, "I fucked something up. Everything is wrong," and I had no clue what it was called. And then
now we have cute little terms for it, like Sunday scaries.
yeah,
But I'm like, yeah, that's just we called that anxiety. Yeah.
yeah, and then like finally like discovering what this is, and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, I've had that a lot. Yeah, and it sucks. This is terrible.
Yeah, it's no fun.
Yeah, yeah, nobody likes that. All right, let's transition out of anxiety talk.
Get out of here, anxiety.
All right, so
That's stupid.
So treating this like a collection with like a lot of the other collection episodes, like one of the things I ask about is price point. Like, do you have a spot that you will not go above, or like how do you measure something? Like, do you look at something like the 10-foot skeleton and you're like, if it's on sale or this is my price range? Like, how do you approach these?
Yeah, so that's a good question because everybody always asks me when they see that I have this because the 12-foot skeleton's a really big thing now, right? Everybody's got those. I feel like they were big a couple years ago, then went away, and they're back again this year. You're seeing them all over the place again now, and I think they're cool. But in my head, one of those, I can get 10 other skeletons for the same price as that. So for me, the look that I'm going for, it's more of kind of a quantity thing. Like I'd rather have everything kind of, and at this point, I have so many of the other ones that a huge one. I guess I can make it fit, but it just doesn't. I don't know.
It had to be like king skeleton or something.
Yeah, and with the size of like, and my yard's not huge, but I rather have it all filled, and so I want to have more coverage, kind of like with getting tattooed, right? Like I want to be more covered than just have one big focal point. So I think it's most of the stuff I'm buying like individually, they're probably mostly like each individual one's probably under like $50, give or take. I did this year. Because I've always wanted like an archway kind of situation, but I'm not talented enough to actually build something. But they made one this year that I got at the depot that's like a big archway that looks like it's made out of a bunch of skulls, and that kind of goes right at the front of my house.
Nice.
So that was like I bought that this year. That was like the big thing for them. It was like $200. But I mean, obviously something I can store and keep forever and hopefully
Decades.
keep using.
Yeah.
And so that's probably the most on an individual thing I've spent. But again, everything else I would say they're probably all like 50 or under, but I just have a lot of them.
Nice.
And so I'd rather just, so every year I kind of buy the same shit. I buy more graves, I buy more skeletons, and, that's pretty much it. And can just keep adding. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is one of those things where it's just like, you just keep amassing stuff, but it's so much fun. Like, how can you stop? Like, there's just always something else to get, something else to add.
I was going to say, once you get one thing, you're playing off that for the next
Yes.
thing,
And like I said, mostly because it's a skeleton, like anything, like not, the ones you have here. Like if I see something that's a skeleton that I don't have,
boom.
Like, and now in the house, we have a bunch of little ones. So we've been decorating more in the house now too. Like I was telling you guys earlier today, like I hung back to like my prints and my paintings and all that we talked about, the first time I was here. I've got stuff that comes out just for Halloween. I've got some like flash that's like Halloween themed stuff that I've gotten from tattooers. I know I have a drawing that Jaimie made at one of the live art events. It's like a cool like Reaper. It was from a beer. I think it was called Unicorn.
Yeah, it was like
Blood.
Unicorn Reaper or something
It's a
like
unicorn blood was the beard. So it's a Reaper like stabbing a unicorn with his horn, and like it's really cool. It fits the Halloween like motif. Like, well, my 9-year-old today when I hung it was like, oh, I like that one. I forgot we had that. And I was like, yep,
Nice.
That's my girl right there. I told her, I was like, I'm going to talk with the guy tonight that made that. She was like, oh, that's cool.
Well, please tell her I said thanks.
Yeah, and she likes art. She's like learning, so hopefully maybe
That's
she'll
great.
follow in the footsteps of all of the artists out there like you guys. But yeah, we just kind of, like you say, just keep adding stuff to it, and now it's starting to make its way more into the house as well as outside of the house, which is fine with me too because I like to make it look cool, and
That's
I like
awesome.
the spooky looking stuff. So yeah.
Well, look, before we get down to the final question, was there anything you want to talk about tonight we didn't hit?
I don't think so. Other than this is kind of random, but I don't know. Are you guys familiar with the idea that a lot of people are throwing out, like moving Halloween to the Friday closest or the Saturday closest to like the 31st?
No, but I'm not against this idea.
I'm way against it. I'm not into this at all. I want Halloween to always
Okay,
be on Halloween.
okay. Let me say
I get
this.
the logistical part of it, but that's my soapboxes. I want it to stay on Halloween.
Okay. So I always want Halloween to be October 31st.
Sure.
But I'm not against like the idea of like trick or treat being on like a Friday or Saturday.
See, but I want it to be on Halloween because that's because then during the week you get something cool to do. And also, on the weekends, I want to do cool shit. I don't want to have to take my kids trick-or-treating on a weekend if we can go do something else. Now, if it falls on a weekend, that's fine. But I feel like that's the weekend you end up always having Halloween parties too, right? Like a lot of people have a Halloween party. We have one the Saturday before every year. So that's going to move into that. I don't know. I've heard this lately. And again, I have kids and I'm with a lot of parents. And most of the folks are on the side of you are saying like, we would rather have be on a weekend. And I'm like, no, your kids are doing shit all weekend anyway. You're already busy on the weekends. Like, it's 2 hours. You go walk around the neighborhood, then you come home. It's not a big deal. And they're not doing it yet, and I don't think they're going to.
All right, you know what? You're reversing my opinion on this.
I was going to say, because, like, I agree, like, again,
Plus, it removes, like, the coolness of Halloween.
Yeah, it kind of...
It's just a Saturday at that point.
It's the whole, like... I mean, the pagan part of it, you just throw out the door, which is kind of sad. I'm like, come on, it's supposed to be the last day of October. For a reason for that. It's, but at the same time, too, it's like a lot of kids are playing sports on weekends. A lot of things like that.
People are not as free as you think you are.
Yeah, they just don't, like, quite grasp. And, time-wise, that does take up a lot of later evening as compared to kids get out of school. And usually they kind of equip the hours for that.
Right.
And I don't know.
Here's the secret: if you have kids, like your weekends aren't free, guys. Like it's not you're not free on the weekends anymore.
You know what?
And then, too, like, as an adult... without kids, without kids, this is like my month where I just love the season so much. Like we always do something, and if I'm like, oh, now I got to go like set this weekend date away for this, it kind of takes away a weekend that I maybe going to like some kind of hayride or something.
You just do the thing and then you don't hand out candy, and then there's
and that sucks too, then, because I'm not celebrating
exactly.
So
Halloween. I'm just saying.
I don't
Halloween purists here. Let's keep trick-or-treating on Halloween.
I don't think we can change it because it is what it is. I think I'm thinking about this from like my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. And I love the fact that Thanksgiving is like, it's a set Thursday and then I can take Friday off from work and get a 4-day weekend.
That's a beautiful thing.
And it's awesome.
That's true.
And it's also the thing too with now, like the biggest bar night in America is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, which is wild to think that it's bigger than like fucking New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
That... Like everybody's just getting blacked out the night before they go back to their family for Thanksgiving. And then you get Friday off and you want to go shopping, you can do it or not. And then you get like a whole weekend of like college football and pro football. And you also get pro football on Thanksgiving, 3 games. This is awesome. So yeah, I go back and forth on this with like, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know what a world looks like where Halloween changes because there is something magical about... God damn it, Jaimie. There is something magical. I don't like the fact... I fucking hate that I just said this. But there is something magical about October 31st.
It's true.
Well, think about when you were a kid, too. Like, if you just got to go to school on a Wednesday, but it's fucking Halloween. So, like, this Wednesday, which probably isn't that cool, like, after this, I get to at least go do something fun with my buddies and go walk around and trick-or-treat and get some candy. It at least highlights a weekday once a year. Yeah. It falls on weekends here and there, but I don't know. It
gives you a little highlight.
Like, I'm out on that. I don't want to change.
Do elementary school kids still get to do a thing where like you get trick or treat at school, where like you like dress up for the day and like go to different classrooms? I remember doing that as a kid. That was awesome.
Yeah, I got to be a Ghostbuster.
So I did it as a kid.
Ghostbuster.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Schools that I'm around currently do not, mostly because we're pretty large public schools and we have lots of different
rules,
cultures and religions represented and stuff. So they'll do something different. Like one of the schools I used to work at, they acknowledge it's a day, but they don't do costumes. So they call it like Hat Day. So the kids wear like just weird hats and shit, right? So they don't call it Halloween, but it is like a thing. But yeah, around my buildings, they don't actually trick or treat in the school anymore. But they do. A lot of the schools do trunk or treat like on the weekend before Halloween, which I'm down with that. Like at a noon, if you want to just come up to the school parking lot, sure, that's cool. Whatever, we'll do that. Then that's some extra candy, but it's not Halloween. It's not trick or treat unless it's the 31st.
It is interesting to think that like Halloween is a holiday where religions are mad at it. Like that's a crazy thing. Like there's never like another thing where like Christianity or Muslims or Jews or like any other like religion is like, oh, I really hate St. Patrick's Day or like the 4th of July. Ew. But there are people that are like so religious that they're like Halloween. That's very evil.
It's very evil.
Yeah. And it scares them. And it's just like, all right, this is, again, I feel like that's like kind of the fun of the holiday is like there is this thing where like people really do take it that seriously, where they give it that much reverence. Where like, no, it's a very scary, spooky day.
It's true. It's true.
So, what's the future, man? Like, what do you think is gonna be the next thing that you're doing with this? Like, because it sounds like you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound. This is gonna keep just going on. You're going to keep building it. More skeletons are going to come out. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I think just kind of keep expanding on what I have. Like I said, I do have the detached garage in the back of the house, which I thought maybe in the future could, like, if I really wanted to get into it, like Jaimie was talking about, like lend to some sort of haunted house type idea. Maybe, I'm not sure. Or like I told you, I'm on a corner. I don't actually have anything on this side of my yard yet. So if I get the whole yard eventually, like that would be pretty cool, I guess, because it's kind of more in the front now. If you're coming by the front of my house, you see the bulk of it, because I have a decent sized little like side piece of the yard too. So I think it's just kind of keep expanding just into the yard, and then maybe once the yard is full, move into the back. I don't know, but yeah, just kind of keep going. I'm not gonna.
I like the fact the back is in play. That you're like, you know what, this thing might get to the point.
Well, theoretically too, because I kind of like my neighbors. Like I was saying, nobody goes down that side street, so I feel like if I put some stuff back there, it'll get people to maybe hit the side streets a little
it's kind
bit
of
more.
a shame that you can't kind of almost build it to where for them to walk through it and then end up like right where they're at to hand out
and
candy
that's kind
there.
of the thing. I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. I haven't done it this year yet because I do have, again, a couple other like sets of stairs on the sides of my house too. So there is a way if I could make a path where they maybe come up one way, walk through the yard, then come down the other side, and then they could. Because it would also, because I get a huge traffic jam on my corner. Like I get so many kids all coming, and then like word gets out about my house, and I'll just literally have like a caravan of cars that just pull up, and they'll just like unload. And it's awesome, but it turns at one point like Halloween will go, like it'll start, and I'll start getting busy, and then about an hour in, like it's pretty much chaos in front of my house for the next hour, and then it's always impressive to me that like at 8 on the nose, like there's nobody, like it stops. Like that, like it's wild how quickly like everybody's just like it's 8 o'clock, right? It's done. Like, you know, it shuts off pretty quick. But I think that's kind of maybe the move is figuring out a way to eventually incorporate the side yard, maybe make the front that I have now, they walk up, kind of cut through, come down or something like that. I think that's it. Maybe down the road, and I need to just take advantage of the time I have when I'm off in the summer to maybe build some stuff and plan out a bit more. Because every summer I have the plan, but again, not to keep bringing it up, but I have the kids. I'm home with them in the summer. And then before I know it, it's August. We're back to school, back to work, and then it's September, and then it's like, all right, well, I haven't built anything yet, and I just get more stuff and just kind of keep doing what I already know how to do, and just kind of keep adding. So yeah,
I'm with you, man. I think you got a really good idea there. Where if you could like make something where like you're directing traffic and you're having people like discover a different part of the neighborhood, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, because again, like I said, my neighbor that lives right behind me, and a lot of the times the folks on the side streets in past years have come up and they'll be like, can we just like post up in front of your house too? And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Like, it's all good. Because they're like, we want to hand out candy, but nobody comes. It's literally 2 houses down. Like, we'll just watch 500 people walk by and they'll maybe get like 10 kids. And it's just like, we just want to give you guys.
Yeah.
It's the only night of year where you're allowed to actually just hand out candy to strangers, right? So
that's true. It is the one night of year people are like, I'll take this.
Now, on the flip side, the bummer is I have so many kids that come by because I have the cool house. So I want to kind of, like you were talking about, maybe be the full-size candy bar guy or something like that, but I've done the math on it, and I'm like, I'm going to have to spend like $700 on Halloween
I mean,
candy.
to be fair to, like, you're giving back to your community already by creating such a cool place. And, like, one thing, and, this is what I think is so cool about this. Like, you put so much work into that, and it is, like, one night a year that you're doing all that. But, like, you don't have any of those kids, or, when they're adults, they're like, man, you remember that cool-ass house on the corner?
Yeah, for sure.
And, you create memories for these kids that you'll probably never even know by name. And that's such a cool thing.
Very cool.
That
That's cool,
they can get the big candy bar at the house that's lame. Get the You're giving them a memory, and,
we buy a good amount of candy, and then we always have, like, my parents, my in-laws, my wife's brothers, because they live in areas, too, where they don't do a ton of, so they'll all come to the house. So if you're coming to my house on Halloween, usually they all bring candy too. So everybody brings a bunch.
Yeah.
So we still are giving out a couple pieces to each kid. You're not just getting one if you come by, but we're not doing the full-size candy bar either.
Yeah, but it's still, it's just like, that's such an important, I think that for children especially, like, again, like, it makes that holiday special to have those places that they can go and see adults appreciating it at such a high level.
And I think it's cool too, because I think my whole neighborhood in general, I think, has always been, and like I said, I was around this neighborhood as a kid, and I remember it kind of being a Halloween neighborhood, right? But I'm seeing more and more people, and I'm not like saying that it's because of my house or whatever, but I think I'm seeing way more displays around within a few blocks of my house. Like, people seem to be putting more. I know right on the
They're
block
like, we got to
behind,
step up.
Right on the block behind me, they have a full. They have a little haunted house that they do on the street behind me. And I saw this year, I was out for a run the other morning actually, and somebody It's on the street behind me. They added a thing now where they have a cool display in their yard, but then they made this huge spider where the spider leg comes out onto the sidewalk and it's like a little arch. So if you're on the sidewalk, you
awesome.
go under this spider's leg. Yeah. It's really rad. And then a lot of other folks just putting up like the big skeletons or the other things. So the whole neighborhood, it's really cool. Like to just, if you're ever bored,
they gotta
drive
step
around
up.
Westwood. There's a lot of cool, Westwood and Cheviot, there's a lot of really cool people decorating their houses and doing really cool stuff.
That's awesome.
And it's a lot of old houses. It just lends to it. I think I'm lucky there too that my house in general looks like it should be decorated for Halloween. Like it has that look. Like, not hating on it, but if I lived in like a house that was built in 2020 and I put all this shit up, it would still look cool, but it would be like, oh, that's a modern house with all this shit. My house looks like going back to the whole like old, kind of falling apart a little bit. Like, yeah, it's all right. That's what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, it lends to it very well.
It fits.
Yeah,
this is the theme.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Jaimie, what about you, man? Like, do you have any desire to be like Freaky Halloween House?
Maybe at some point when my wife Allison and I decide to buy a house or something like that. I don't know. It's like weird. It's because growing up in it so much, I think I was spoiled to be like, I don't know if I could ever get it to that level. So why would I start trying? You know, but it would be fun to have a place. Again, if I had a lot of kids coming through the neighborhood or something like that, I mean, I'd probably like deep dive eventually and just give up and do goofy shit. Who knows? But
My wife and I are softly getting into this. Like, we started getting some stuff from Spirit Halloween last year, and we're kind of dipping the toe in and playing with it. But we love Halloween. We like handing out candy, and you know.
I think that you both are just built for this. To be honest with you, like I could definitely see you doing more with, like, you know, really expanding, because Tank's a horror nerd. The artist in you, the creative, like it's, you know, a dangerous mixture there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I've seen wood panels online, and I'm like, this kind of seems like something that'd be fun
Yeah,
to make.
exactly. Like before this is over, there's gonna be a cosmic astronaut skull face like cut out that floats above everybody, and
I like where this is going.
I'm not against this idea. This seems pretty cool.
it sounds pretty neat. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, leather faces everywhere. Jason's, you know.
Hell yeah, dude. All right, guys. Before we get out of here, Jaimie, can you let people know where they can find you out online?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Jaimie JAIMIE _FILER Filer.
Simo, where do you exist at on the internet?
Same on Instagram. That's really all I have. It's SIMO _2785. And yeah, if you want to, go ahead. I'll probably put some stuff up soon of what the house looks like. So if you're curious to see what this whole thing looks like, it should be going up. I finished getting everything out today. I got to put the lights out still. I'll probably do that tomorrow. So by tomorrow, we might have some videos up of the smoke and the fog and everything, and we'll have it all going by tomorrow. So
Nice.
stay tuned. You'll see some photos soon, hopefully.
Nice. Hell yeah. Listener, you find me at Neil to No One. And if you like the podcast, please share it with somebody. Also, there's over 100 episodes on the backlog, hobbies and collections. At this point, everything is evergreen. So if there's something that you have a friend that they're into, you can share it with them. It's not going to be like a weird thing where it's like, oh, and this year we did this. No, it's all evergreen. So just check it out whenever you want to check it out. Guys, thank you so much for doing the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me again.
And listener, thanks for listening. Peace.